14.
This is how it feels.
Hotep, Introduction to Kemet, the missing link in Black history. I am Shakandugu Kemet. My goal is for you to learn and understand some information that you probably never came across before. For this reason, the beginning is going to be somehow meticulous because it's necessary. We are dealing with thousands of years of knowledge. We are going to deal with primary sources, originals. There's going to be name, dates, and places. So let's get right into it. Africa, Afuraka. I'm not going to waste time about the Middle East claim because it doesn't make sense, as you can see. I'm going to break down the word Kemet for you. That's a hieroglyph, the Meduneta. Now the first symbol, that's for Kem. It's a piece of charcoal, of course crocodile skin, because that's what it's described as most of the time. Then you have the loaf of bread, that's the sign for T. Then the bird is actually a O, and that's for M. That sign there is the town, village, settlement, Egypt, Thebe. The numbers in bracket are the Gardner list number, and it can be useful, even though our ancestors obviously didn't use that. Some of you might say, fine, okay, but where can we see Kemet? No problem. This is the second Camose Stela, number J40. The first dynasty. We're not even talking about pre-dynastic period. Some of you might wonder, really? Show and prove. No problem. Here is the royal list of Abydos located in Kemet. It gives in chronological order 76 kings from Menes, that's Narmer, to Seti I. Then you have the ancestors Sheper of King Jehutimes, commonly known as Thutmose III. It's from the Temple of Ammon in Karnak, number E13481 bis in the Louvre Museum in France. There's 61 names there from Menes to Jehutimes III. You have the Palermo Stone around 2500 BCE, and that's located in Italy. The Narmer's Head, UC15989 in Petrie Museum, London, and the famous Narmer Palette, CG14716 in Cairo Museum. This is 5,000 years old. Why is it called Egypt today? It comes from Het Kapta, the house of the Ka of Ptah, which gives Aegyptos in Greek, Aegyptus in Latin, and finally is Memphis, and that's what the US town is named after. I am going to show you where our ancestors wrote Het Kapta about 3,000 years ago, but first I want you to get some understanding about the source that I will use. Pert M. Heru, commonly known as the Book of the Dead. It's a papyrus that's 3,000 years old, kept at the British Museum, number 10470. It's a compilation of spells and things to get you through the afterlife. It has to do with spirituality. Every time we quote the book, that's the edition that I'm on. You need to understand that Heru of the scribe Nebked. That one is in the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. Those texts are derived from older ones called the Coffin Text. And here's an example right there. Coffin Text of Goa around 1800 BCE from Deir el Bersha in Kemet, number EA30840 in the British Museum. That's well over 3,000 years old. The Coffin texts are derived from older texts, which are the Pyramid text. And there you can see the pyramid text of Unas around 2300 BCE. That's well over 4,000 years old. And then a pyramid text of Teti I in Saqqara, Kemet. Okay. Now, why is it called the Book of the Dead? Because it was found in coffin generally, like the one for the for Ani, for the scribe Ani. And we can check out the real name. It's actually in the book. So let's have a look. Page 28, the common name for the Book of the Dead, Pert Heru, which words have been variously translated, manifested in the light, coming forth from the day. Page 355, it tells you that it's on plate 5. Okay, and here's a breakdown of plate 5. Pert Heru. Now, why do we talk about plates? The papyrus of Ani was found, and it was 20 meters long. So Wallis Budge, who bought it, cut it into 37 pieces. That's why we are talking about plates. And there we're dealing with plate 5, and I'm showing you where Pert Heru is written. Let's have a look now. We're going to zoom in. There it is. That's right there. So I'm just going to cut that and then show you the Meduneta transcript. And it's just right there, Pert Heru. You will notice that the hieroglyph is slightly different. It's because
Hotep Senut, I see we have a guest. I have to check that you can hear me loud and clear. And guest, just bear with me a few seconds. I will put you on because you have a camera. So, no, how's the sound? Sorry about this. It's the advert. How's the sound? Okay, sounds good. All right, guess I'm going to put you on.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Doing okay yourself, man. Peace to you. Peace.
Yes, peace. Feel free to speak.
Question. Coming forth. What's it? Coming forth by day?
Yes.
Okay, so this is something that I had the pleasure to dissect probably about maybe 15 years ago, a little bit, not on the level that you clearly explained it. What does that really, how does that translate and benefit as far as spiritual and material pertaining to man? This saying, like, could you elaborate a little in detail for people who may have a general, just a elementary, comprehension level of it?
Well, the coming forth by day is the proper translation.
Okay.
For, I mean, you know that obviously, but just for the listeners, it's the proper translation, the proper English translation for what they call Book of the Dead, which is a misnomer. In Medunachar, it is Peret Heru, and it's a compilation of, like I used to like to call it, compilation of spells, in order to prepare the individual for the duat, or the netherworld, or the afterlife.
Right.
So it's mainly about religion or spirituality. It's mentions of deities, and the most known Peret Heru, or misnomer Book of the Dead, is the one of Ani, the scribe Ani, and located in the British Museum. So that's the one that most people get to talk about or see. And we do have the imagery. Not only we have the text, the writing, but we even have the imagery, the different steps. We see people mourning the scribe when he is deceased. We see he also with his wife behind him, and eventually he goes to the judgment. We have the judgment scene with the scale, and his heart is being weighed against the feather of Ma'ad. And we see Tot, like the Greeks call him, which really is called Jehuti, and he's taking notes of the result of the judgment. And if he is deemed true of voice or justified, that they called Ma'acheru, then he'll be able to go to the afterlife, and we see him in front of Usir or Asir, that the Greeks call Osiris. Right. So that's just a quick rundown.
Okay, so basically, in similarity, right? similarity. We can see
Oh,
how.
I'm sorry. Forgive me for cutting you off. I forgot to mention probably the most important. We have the 42 negative confession or principle of Ma'at or
Right,
declaration of innocence. And it goes, I have not seen, I have not killed, I have not stolen, and so on. And of
right.
course, in
Whole
the Ten
truth.
Commandments, it's extremely similar. So many people say that the Ten Commandments were plagiarized from it. There's at least 8 declaration that we found
It is.
in the Old Testament. Yes, feel free.
That's a fact. And I was going to touch on going back to the Book of the Dead, explain, what you just touched on, as far as the wind, the scale, and the deeds, and being accepted to the afterlife. What they say, the raw. I hate to say the wrong words, but anyways, the soul of the man, quote unquote, put in the terms of today's language of relation. Yeah, it definitely ties into. You can see how religion base of spirituality comes from of that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Maryland, close to
Yeah.
Washington D.C. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And what is your background, your ethnic background, if you don't ask me, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm Piscataway Weesaw,
What
native,
what is
native, what they call a Native American. I hate using that term, but
Okay, okay. All right.
Native
Oh,
American in Maryland, Piscataway, Indian,
okay.
right?
So, oh yeah, that name is actually an Indian tribe. I mean, a Native
Yeah,
American tribe. Okay,
right,
okay.
right. A
All right.
Weesaw.
I thought you were like of Arabic descent, like 'cause
Nah, I kind of get that a lot, man. Nah, yeah, you
So
know.
do you speak the language of your tribe,
Um,
or do you
truthfully
understand
speaking,
it?
I do to a degree, but it's a lost language. It's more of a slang
Oh, okay, okay. Because
amongst the family.
because like the Native Americans, they have their own religion or spirituality. Now we usually have the cliche of a fire and then using a blanket, but it has to be way deeper than that, And I presume,
Uh,
knowing the history, they probably kept a
Um,
lot secret.
here's the thing that you gotta remember: every tribe has their own culture values, despite the fact they can communicate with each other in the marketplace. Swahili, right?
Hmm.
Afro and Arabic dialect,
Mix, yes.
right? It was something that people came used to form a communication. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, I don't mean to be rude. I was in the middle of getting my child tire changed, but
Mm.
yeah, it's sad that it's like that, but truthfully speaking, the Piscataways that live on the as far as the nation holders that they kind of live on their own, I call it plantation.
Yeah.
They may try to call it something else, but it is what it is. And you know, nope, we don't have
Now,
trash can.
can you tell me how to spell it?
Piscataway is PS.
Hmm.
Pardon. Sorry.
Yes.
PSI
R.
TA.
Oh, sorry. ESI and then TA.
Piscataway. I could be wrong on the spelling. Y'all forgive me, but
Well, there has to be a K somewhere. Escati.
What's your phone number? 202
American.
891 0020.
Oh, Escatia. Okay, I get it.
Eight nine
Escatia.
one 0020. Yeah, you see it?
Escatia. Maybe it's not like that.
202-891-0020.
I can't hear what this thing. Hold on, slow down. 810
Okay, I'll look it up.
891
891.
00.
I'll just put him on mute because he looks like he's giving his phone number or maybe social security number. So yeah, I just muted you because it sounds like you're giving some personal detail. So I didn't want everybody to hear that. But yeah, I'll wait for you when you're ready.
You up, bro?
First name. First name.
Yo.
I'll let him unmute himself when he's ready. If you can hear me, feel free to unmute yourself whenever you're ready. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So brothers and sisters I actually have some time. So there's the invite link that the brother used. So feel free to use the invite link and join the conversation. I've realized that people don't get the notification. I created a poll, and are you ready now? Are you finished? Oh yeah. You ready now?
Yeah, you can take him on mute. Yeah, I'm done, dude.
Come again?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Oh, okay.
Now,
All right, feel free. Yeah.
what I was trying to explain to you was that the mistakes that people make is they go along with the fairy tale ideas and the suggestions of what the government of the United States of America, especially state by state, it been legislated, it's been persuaded, and it's been pushed for many, 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 many years. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the native people, as far as trying to persuade the general public, the matters as to how they live and such and such. That's why it's so broken and it's confusing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no way possible you can tell a people how people live or how they thrive today among society in the general atmosphere and in a common way if you don't have the people around to give you an understanding of their culture values. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Do you practice the spirituality of your tribe, or do you have another religion?
Nah, for me, for a period of time, Islam was my religion because I was limited to spirituality information. Let me just say that. I don't downplay anybody religious aspect. I understand why people believe what they believe. It's institution been put in place. I had the luxury to also study a lot of Zachariah Sigit books pertaining to the Sumerians.
Oh yeah.
So when I kind of got a taste of that information, it kind of made me dig deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I was limited, very limited, even with that information. But I was intrigued by it because it all makes sense.
I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, is it possible that you turn the radio off?
Okay, that's in the back. Return that one, please. So,
Okay.
yeah, I apologize about that. That's my son right there.
No problem. No problem.
The birds are taking them home. So, what I was saying was that when it comes to spirituality and reality, let me just say this. Spirituality is quite, if you're in tune with who you are to a degree, you can never be totally in tune with who you are because you change in every situation. But to be conscious, to know that you know, and to have the ability to make a decision, whether if it's suggested to you or it's something that you ponder upon a thing, stemming from the subconscious, meaning your dreams, or just visualization stemming from information that's available to you in front of your face from material aspect. But
Tell me, did you learn the Arabic when you used to be a Muslim, or do you
yeah, I
know
learned.
any? Mhm.
I learned. I know how to recite Arabic. I'm shitty as hell with just coming over the top and holding the conversation like I used to.
Mm.
But
So back then you were kind of fluent.
yeah, I was more so because when you're incarcerated, I did 20 years a month and 17 days in prison.
20 years. Oh
Yeah,
man.
from 16 to the age of 36. I read over 5,000 books, 582. The last book I was on was the Atlantic Slave Trade by Thomas Hughes. I stopped at page 472 if I'm mistaken.
Mm.
But you know,
Damn, since 16 years old.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
that's a whole different story. I mean, I would say I ain't got no shame in it, man. You know, it was.
Oh well, you don't need to. You don't have to, obviously it had to be something serious, but you
Yeah,
don't need to at this point. Maybe another
no,
time.
no, 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 no. I mean, that's off the record. If it was ever a conversation, you know, on the building tip, if it ever, you know, would come up. But yeah, and still though, it prison, you know, never hindered me. It strengthened me. You know what I'm saying? It's a what don't kill you, it only make you strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as the Arabic, I was, you know, I was very intrigued with when I went to prison. I had no, I was in touch with spirituality. I had intuition for God, but I didn't have no religion. And I had a man who I consider my God, my grandfather, the only man that, you know, I know from my grandmother to really have around as a person that tried to influence me to do the right things. Right, this man had dementia, and he couldn't remember the times we lived at, because I visited one summer, and me and my little brother had to go get him from the grocery store, right? And this man, when it came to like religious scriptures, Bible scriptures and stuff, I guess what you hold dear in your heart until you depart, even after you depart, will hold with you. You know, as many may say, he didn't forget nothing. He didn't forget anything. And it made me wonder when I was incarcerated what it was about, you know, people who, you know, study religion. Because I mean, my father was a military man, and you know, I grew up in a household in the '80s during the crack era, so it was very dysfunctional, right? But once I got in there, I used to go to church, and then I had guys that was going to the Nation of Islam. They was going to the Sunni Muslim services, Islam, the Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, and etc. So I kind of was like, you know, curious as to why, you know, I was saying guys I was in the street with, you know, turn to spirituality and religion. You know what I'm saying? Or tap into their spirituality and adapt into religion, however you may want to call it. And when I seen this, it made me feel like, you know, I should do the same thing too. And I was just going hard with it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you telling me what I need to know, I was reading what I need to know.
Tell me, when you became Muslim, was it Orthodox Muslim, or was it Nation of Islam, or was it
No,
Moorish?
it was Sunni Muslim, but the brothers practiced Salafiyah, right? The first three generations of Salafiyah. So my thing is that at first the information for Islam was there, but it was tainty, right? It was a lot of people had mixed understandings and stuff of that nature. But I studied Islam for 18 months before I took my Shahada, right? Before I said La ilaha illallah, there is no deity worthy worship but God, right? And I really feel like that even to this day, because I really can't I try not to put God into a material aspect as form of man, because I feel like anything that's greater than man, it can't be of symbol. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like material aspect, it cannot be the same. Even though we try to find them that way. You know what I'm saying? But that was, you know, that's just my opinion for a thing. But I also look at how, you know, the Anunnaki and Inky and all these guys describe and how the text and stuff is there. And it's like, it's right there in your fucking, excuse me, it's right there in your face. And it's like you can't hide from it. You know what I'm saying? And for a person to hide from it is somebody who's been brainwashed and blinded from obvious truth. Like, for instance, the Pyramids of Giza. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest, just the material there. You know what I'm saying? What it's made out of. You know, the stuff that's used to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? everything, like how the technology we use today is the base technology of that technology. So it's like, now you gotta forgive me, the guys got the dirt bikes out in the city.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's how it is in Washington D.C. You know what I mean? But it's a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? That there's this you look at and you question, and I look at all religions and I see, you know what I'm saying, where everybody pretty much get everything from. It's only a few places, you know what I'm saying, and all of them come from one or another. They kind of, you know what I'm saying, like even if you look at like, let me ask you a question, right? And this something that's been puzzling me for a long time. Now I be going on YouTube and I look at what's my man name? Billy Carson, right? Now him, Billy Carson, and
The guy who's into metaphysics.
exactly him, a couple of other cats. It just like I said, I'm more so just I did one dab. I sit back and look and I agree with you. I don't agree with you. I try to figure out why you would believe what you believe. Because I don't believe in hating. I believe in trying to understand, and like opposed to me be in opposition, in total opposition to what you believe in and what you study and try to understand. I try to get a grasp, like, okay, why is this person so in tune with this and with that? But I was just looking at all the pyramids, for the ones that we do know of that they report in the media, for all the ones they don't report in the media, and I look at the one that sit apart from all of them. They kind of, you know what I mean, really has an influence on the world. You know, the major pyramids, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt. So now let me ask you something. What purpose for that being? Do you think it's greater than what people from their own philosophies put upon, as far as like, you know, based on our own governing intellect today? Think it's bigger than what we think it is?
Well, before they used to say that the pyramids were tombs. There is a
No.
part that they like to call like the king's chamber or chamber or burial chamber, but no mummy has been found.
Right.
So some people think that it's a observation center. I wouldn't be able to say really what it stood for. Um, maybe they align it with the belt of Orion, you know, with the three big stars. Um, I really don't know.
If I had to give my
What's
personal opinion,
what's for sure is that it was covered with limestone. People say that the top had some gold in it or some sort of
they had
shiny
a whole
material.
lot of gold up top.
So
A whole
it,
lot of
it,
gold up top.
it might have been a way to kind of have some light with the reflection of the moon, but this is just my own conjecture. Honestly, I don't know the purpose of the pyramids.
If I had to give my own opinion based on just my own feeling and like gut feeling and what I've been heard all the studies, I think it was the source of power for all the other pyramids that was in location. And also just the power of the area, like a generator. It was more so like a grid. I mean, because you gotta think about they that damn place is cut laser cut. I mean, I can't say it. I mean, my opinion, I can't say
Impressive.
it's too precise.
It
It's
is very
everything is too cut perfect. Like there's no human being. Like I don't care how raw your tool is. Like it's not sharp enough to hit no lime and stuff like that the way it does. And just everything about it. Different crystals that's in the rocks. Different rocks that was used for certain areas. You know what I'm saying? The electrical. You know what I'm saying? The current that's coming through it, and it just lets you know how powerful this place was before it perished and became what it is today. And I don't think
well.
people really see it for
Mhm.
what it is. You know,
I,
I
I,
thought
I don't. Mhm.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't.
go
No problem. I don't know about electricity because some people claim that because they use some depiction from some temple where we actually see what kind of looks like a generator or a
Yeah,
light bulb, but really
I-
this is just a lotus flower with a snake in the middle. And the other thing that kind of looks like a generator is the jet pillar with two arms sticking out. So I personally don't think that they had electricity back then.
Okay.
um what's amazing is that we just don't know how they built the pyramids. We don't know. That's something, and we probably will never know. It's very, very impressive, but the Egyptians were very advanced in terms of science. So there's some things in life that unfortunately we will never know, but we know indeed that they were extremely skilled.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt. So how you feel about the Nephilim people when they speak about the Nephilim, the giants?
Oh, I don't believe in that. That's the biblical stuff, you know. I
You don't
mean, you
believe
know,
in the
for
Nephilim?
no, I don't believe in most of what's in the
Okay,
Bible.
I got
From what I remember, the giants, you know, in the Old Testament, they talk about some angels.
you.
Uh, I'm not sure if
Turn
it's that, but I think he says that
body
some angel kind of relations with the humans,
with it.
and
Mm-hmm.
he says that those are the heroes of the antiquity. Uh, but Nephilim.
I the kind of give you understanding from what I know, and you can research it, right? Um, they pretty much wasn't from the Earth, with this planet we call Earth. You know, we see it today how people leave and come. The same way we leave and come is the same way supposedly. You know how it's going on right now. Not to take it on some green alien bull crap because I don't. I mean, anything can procreate with man got to look like man. That's just my opinion. Something close to it. You know, the same thing with animals, like we see lions and tigers. You know, and outside their normal habitat, they have been hybridized and mated amongst each other. Even though they're feline species, they are different. You know what I'm saying? They have the same genetic corresponding, but they're different two type of species that could mate with each other. Um, the Sumerians information from the tablets speaks the same information that the Bible speaks, but it speaks in great detail, like the information like the Bible holds for the Ten Commandments that Moses compiled. That, like you say, 8 of them comes from, but the 42,
Yeah,
42 laws.
to Declaration of Innocence or Principle of Ma'at.
Right.
But I think the other two are found on some other version, because people really need to understand that the Papyrus of Ani has his own 42 Declaration of Innocence. Now, probably the Declaration of Innocence will be more or less the same. I've heard people say that we even have up to 100 negative confession. I cannot confirm that, but the rest of the corpus would not be the same. There's several Beret Emheru, or so-called Book of the Dead. The one
So is
of
it the 42 righteous? So basically, you can call it 42 righteous ways, observe righteous ways.
well,
These had like 42 ways of being a righteous person, I would think. For them to,
well, people, people can name it, many things. But what's for
right,
sure
right,
is that
right,
the
right.
main one we talk about is in Papyrus of Ali, located in the British Museum. But we have some other Beret Emheru. We have the so-called Book of the Dead of Nebseni, so-called Book of the Dead of Nebked. We have plenty, so
Mm,
they are not all exactly the same.
okay, okay. So let me ask you something. Elaborate. A um, give me an example of how one of another may separate themselves. Like for me and other people who may not know that information, because you just pulled my coat to something I didn't know.
I don't really know the differences well, because I'm
Okay.
familiar with the one of Annie. I have not yet gotten to read the other Book of the Dead, but
Okay.
I know for sure they're not the same. No, this is
Right.
no secret. This is no revelation.
Is it because it was buried two different locations? Is it because it was governed two
No,
different
no,
times?
no. I think we have. I think it's safe to say that the person that asked for a Beret Emhiru will commission a scribe, and he will probably choose the spells or the writings that he would like. because it's something that will be prepared beforehand, I presume. And eventually, somebody has a sudden death, and maybe the family members will take care of all the necessary when it comes to the burial and the afterlife and so on. So I think it's a matter of the choice of whoever it was that had enough means to have a scribe writing that for him, because it's often said that this is more the royalty, the nobles, the scribes, and that will afford even a tomb, and some funerary artifacts, like shaptis or ushaptis, and
But basically,
Pedet
what
Emheru.
they call values.
Come again?
They pretty much express their culture values in a sense.
I'm sorry, I couldn't really hear you. Can you come again for me?
I'm sorry. So basically, the tombs express their culture values in the sense of what's going on in life, or how they may feel
Oh,
about the afterlife.
you're asking if the tombs were cultural values?
Does their tomb reflect? Does the
Oh, the social status, maybe it will
right?
reflect the social status, but I don't think that a common person, like a common laborer, will be able to afford a tomb. His family probably would be able to afford a coffin or grave, but not probably. And when I say tomb, I
I
mean
know
like
exactly what
like
you
a
mean.
room. Yeah,
Like a room, exactly.
yeah,
A stage.
exactly. Yes, exactly. Because nowadays when we say tomb, we yeah.
One of the Egyptian kings was the founder. Can you hear me?
I can hear loud and clear. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Was
I
one of
can
the
hear you. Yes.
founders of monotheism, and you
But
can
so they
see
say,
how
Akhenaten.
because some of the information in the Book of the Dead, when people wait for the afterlife, right? Aspect. I wonder why did he take that stand to do that?
You're talking about Akhenaten, are you?
I believe it was Akhenaten was the first
Well,
was the ruler who promoted monotheism. Him,
well,
the god of the god.
that's what they like to say. I have a
Yeah.
few books to
Okay.
read about him, but from what I've read so
Okay.
far, it appears that his father, Amenhotep III, actually, that's actually um, the one that's behind me, and this is taken from the Louvre
Mhm.
Museum. One of the
Okay.
most powerful uh, Nesu or king of Kemet, and it looks like his father actually started some sort of, I don't want to say revolution, but change in the religion. So
Mhm.
maybe he was introduced to the Aten as a main deity by his father. Now, what we call the Aten is really Eten, according to the transliteration,
Mhm.
and hence his name Ak-En Aten or Ak-En Eten, which means useful for the Aten. And the Aten is the solar disk, so it's very similar to Ra.
Right.
And it appears at first Akhenaten was tolerant of the other deities, and apparently at some point he had no tolerance for the other deities, and that's the reason why people say that he is the first one to come up with
Hey,
monotheism.
baby.
I don't know why they did
I'll
that.
be right back. I need to finish up this YouTube conversation. I just point. Hold up for a second. What you say? Yeah. Man, you know how I go.
Yeah, I
Pardon
know
me.
it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. My son first time he say, "Daddy, Daddy," I love it. I prayed for the day. I thought I never get it. Prayed for it and got it. I know what to say about it. You know, man, it was given to me. Hey, let me ask you this important question, right? This is very important to me because it pisses me off that they changed the translation
The translation of what?
of of what people accept as being. All right, let's put it like this. First, we talk about religion, so we know me and you know what I'm getting when I say this. They took the same information for the Ankh, right? So now the Ankh represents eternal life. Am I lying or
Well,
correct?
it stands for life mainly. I wouldn't say eternal life, but
And
it
what I
stands for
mean
life.
is, it kind of resembles the uterus, right? The female, right?
Some people say that indeed.
And the only thing that fits in the key lock perfect for a uterus would be the man's penis, right? The only way we gonna keep making this thing go on, we gotta have babies. The only way life is created eternally, on and on and on, is through procreation.
But that's interpretation,
That's the
for
reason why I say
procreation.
that. I mean, that's just my philosophy. And when I was pondering, I'm like, damn, it's right there in my face. It was like, what do I take from that? But I could be wrong.
I mean, yeah. I mean, many times people have shown, the ankh next to a womb, and it kind of has some similarity in terms of the shape. But what's for sure is that the ankh stands for life. Some Egyptologists say that the ankh symbol actually represents some sandal or sandal strap, which is funny.
You said sandal?
Yes, sandal, sandal strap. So we have to wonder why would they use a sandal strap for life? But no matter what that symbol is in the first place,
gotcha.
It definitely stands for life. That's for sure. We know that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Translation. Yes.
You can't take that away from. You can't take that away from that translation at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No matter it's there. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff, like I said, is there. It's just all in what you've been consumed to. You know what I'm saying? All in what you've been exposed to early. You know what I'm saying? And even after, because you got people like Bart Ehrman, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You familiar with this cat?
Oh, very familiar. I have so many of his books to read, but I'm almost finished. Did Jesus exist? And I quoted him many times. He's considered one of the experts of the New Testament. So,
very much so.
I mean, one of the world's,
world renowned. He's one of the scholars that I can rely on when it comes to me looking for truthful information.
Yeah, he's reliable, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I really disagree with his conclusion of his book, Did Jesus Exist? Because after all he's been saying throughout the years about us not having any originals, about Paul being the earliest Christian writer than the apostles.
What about Thomas? How you feel about Thomas on that subject? Not to cut you, I'm sorry.
Thomas? Who's that?
Thomas supposed to have been
like one disciple or something?
One of the disciples who escaped.
Oh, that must be some apocrypha. But I haven't read the apocrypha yet. But to make the long story short, it's very surprising to me that Bart Ehrman will come to the conclusion that Jesus existed. He was just not a supernatural, but just a normal Jesus. I think he probably came to that conclusion to appear to Christian people or Abrahamic people at large. But he's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine. His work is very helpful.
Very helpful. That's my point exactly. Yeah. Very helpful.
He said the record straight about many misconceptions. Because you go to the average Abrahamic person or Christian or Catholic, and you ask them for records of Jesus, they'll tell you, yes, it exists. You can find it in museums. They don't have a clue that we don't have anything during Jesus's lifetime that just doesn't exist. And when I say anything, I'm talking about a mention of his name. You see, so that alone is actually very, very, very powerful.
Right.
But the issue we have is that there's religion and there's a literature of this belief system, and people think that it's the word of God. Even if they didn't think it was the word of God, even if they thought it was the word of some prophets, they will still consider that it's factual, that those things happen. But in history, those things are not attested. And I think one of the biggest hoax ever is the Exodus story. Because it just talks about a pharaoh that is not named, and pharaoh is a title, not a name. And it talks about 150,000 or I don't know how many thousands of people that left Egypt and were chased by pharaoh and his army, and then they happened to die in the water. When we have a full chronology of the kings, particularly
that was fabricated and children style. You gotta remember when they use the word pharaoh, they mean king. So that could have been any king. What king are we talking about?
Yes,
we just give a story of a king, fighting against a prophet and a messenger, supposedly, and his people. A revolutionary battle. You know what I'm saying? A government versus a small government that's trying to take over, guerrilla warfare. I mean, if you ask me, just looking at the story from like 4 different versions.
And now they have it on lock. Now the Abrahamic believers kind of have it on lock in the Western world, and most people are trapped into those belief system.
Oh yeah.
Now, if they just happen to believe in those things, whether it happened or not, whether they are fairy tales or fictional stories or not, it's not the end of the world. But we have a history of practitioners of those belief systems. And when it comes to Black people, for example, or Africans, whether it's Islam or Christianity, and even Jewish people, they were involved in the slave trade, which is one of the biggest tragedy ever.
That's me.
People were misplaced and raped and tortured and killed, for centuries.
Another secret that people don't know, and they've been lied to. Africans came over here way long before Columbus.
Well, some people say that it's possible, but I'm not making this affirmation.
And the reason why I said it, because during the Ice Age time, people traveled around. Right. My grandma is not real red, light skin. My grandma is darker tone, like most Africans. Matter of fact, she looked more Ethiopian than anything. She got hair, you know what I'm saying, curly, nice curly hair. And her mama, their mama, and everybody are from this area right here. And the red complexion comes from my grandma father coming out of me, because he wasn't Piscataway. He was a white guy. You know what I'm saying? My mother, on the other hand, comes from African descent. No, I'm sorry. What is it? East West Indy, some type of Indy. Her grandma, her mother is. From what they understand, that's where they come from. They wasn't in they family held on to a whole lot of stuff that I'm trying to get out of her now, that she been kind of like telling me. I'm like, well, damn, grandma. She was like, well, the questions never be asked and such and such, such and such. But talking to her and her sister, what I thought ain't really, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff has been changed over time in history. Even when I was a child coming up in the 80s to now, it's 2022. A lot of stuff been fabricated and changed for a reason. And America has always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything, every 30 years they change. Like, just think about now how they're trying to knock down the Aryan nations, the Southern Warriors, as they call them, the statues from I can't even think of them. The Democratic Party, the founders of the Democratic Party. I'm going to say that a lot of people don't even know that, the ones who held the South are the ones also started the KKK, also started the Democratic Party. That's another conversation, but it's a lot though. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree with you over here. It's a lot when it comes to people staying brainwashed to a system that they know is not real.
And I would like to ask you, like, did you come across this channel today, or did you know about my channel for a little while?
What I do is I go on YouTube and I find people who kind of mess up my culture values. Like, I think free thinkers is the indigenous word for free thinkers. It's very foreign to a lot of people.
But did you know my YouTube channel, or you just happened to see that I was live and you just
No, what happened was I subscribed to it before, so it popped up and notified me that you was going live, or you was having something going on. I said, okay, well, boom, the motel. Right. Okay, well, let's see what's going on with the right here.
So how did you find out about my channel?
Oh man, what I did was I was on YouTube and just going through, having one of my days early in the morning. I was smoking some good weed, meditating. I needed some on my mind. You know what I'm saying? And what you were talking, I think I ran into something similar to what we're talking about right now. And I was having a conversation with one of my comrades, and I was like, man, you know what? you know, I love to share information. I love information to be shared to me because you can never know enough. And that's why it's out there.
Mm. Well, you know, on the path to knowledge, language is very useful. You know, it's very useful. I've started learning the Arabic for a little while, and now I have started learning the Hebrew. Of course, I'm kind of familiar with the Middle Nature because I'm giving classes,
Right.
and it helps a lot. I mean, particularly for ancient history, of course. Nowadays, you can just speak English, and you know you'll be good. But if you're interested in ancient history, language is extremely helpful.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Because the thing is that you gotta remember, people translate based on the closest they understand.
Mm.
Like a person might translate something and it might translate to wood, and they say, "Well, why is it translating to wood when it?" I'm thinking it should translate this. Okay, is it general? Is it specific? Is it pertaining to a certain matter? Is it pertaining to an event? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it meant to be just taken blatantly? Is it meant to be taken metaphorically?
Mm.
Them questions come about. And then languages, them words are spellbinding. And languages does make a difference. Just like, you
Yeah.
know, I know in Arabic, if a nook tars off, if you change it to a doma, to a fata, it's going to change the meaning.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Opposed to person saying, I prime example, person saying, Allah and Ilah. Of course, we saying the God, and then we saying a God in a
Hey God,
sense.
yeah, Ila, yes.
So
But you know,
Allah
actually,
and Ilah.
mhm.
So, you know,
Now you know, since you have some knowledge of Arabic, have you ever heard those people who claim that Prophet Muhammad was black?
the herbs, I put it like this: herbs are light-skinned people like me on that side of town.
Mm.
Let's just say that.
And I agree
Because
with
the
that.
story of Abraham. Let's look at the story of Abraham. The people, the herbs come from what? African descent and European, quote unquote. It's the only way light-skinned people will come about. I mean, if you look at it in America, you take a white woman and a black man. What do you have? A light-skinned black child.
Mm. But I mean,
You talking about in the African literal sense?
according to their literature, Abraham comes from
Okay,
Chaldea, which is Ur,
right,
which is Mesopotamia, and
right,
Mesopotamia,
Mesopotamia,
and
right,
yeah, the Sumerians and all that. We have the pictures of them,
exactly. Okay,
and they look white 2,500 years ago. Like for
you say it
example,
look white?
yeah, I can show you. Like, hold on,
Oh, you say
let me share
Abraham
the
and them is
screen.
white?
As far as I'm concerned, well, I don't
That
believe
you
he
say?
existed, but the people of the
You
area
say,
where he's from.
you talking about Abraham? You talking about- As far as Abraham didn't exist.
Well, no, I
Yep.
don't believe he existed personally. I don't know if he existed. I don't think he did. But
Oh, okay,
besides
okay,
that, the people in the area where he lived, like 2,500
okay.
BC, 500
Gotcha,
before, 500 years before he was born, those people are white skin.
gotcha.
But like, but you
Oh,
see, if you go on Google and you put standard of war,
in Mesopotamia.
the standard
So
of
you saying
war,
the people of Mesopotamia were European?
yes, my stance. Oh no, well,
Eurasian?
not European, but you know, white skin, white Caucasian type. Now, you see, if you go on Google and you type in standard of or is just spelled UR, you see, and then you can scroll down to the British Museum.
I'm with you a little bit, kind of breaking up a little bit. It's gonna come
Oh,
back
okay,
in.
okay, okay,
I'm in,
okay.
I'm in the
I,
hood of Washington D.C. so
I
bad that
understand.
they gentrify in the area, but
I understand.
in the ghetto it's still messed up. And the Wi-Fi is shitty out here still. So
I understand. So,
yeah.
this is a standard of war here, and here
Okay.
we have those individuals. I mean, we can do a close up. Now, for the record, Ur is of course Chaldea, Mesopotamia, and the date is 2,500 BC. Now we can see their phenotype. They
So what?
definitely
So what type of
don't.
people? Okay. So
Mhm.
all right, I'm with you. I'm listening.
I have another video called "White Semites Black Awakening," and the video "White
Okay.
Semites Black Awakening" shows statues of people from Sumer, Akkad, Levant, Arabia, Canaan,
Okay.
and from 2500 BC until more recent time, they always had the same phenotype, like Iraqis, like Syrians.
Right. They describe themselves as Europeans too, though, for a
Come
long
again?
time. The
Come again?
Persian. I say they describe themselves as Europeans too in America, and the consensus, Arabs are considered Europeans in America.
Well, they're not Europeans, but they're white skin. They're basically white people or
Now,
Caucasian type.
I get that, but see, in over here in Maryland, right, my family,
Mm.
it's you got we got Thompsons and Proctors, right? Now, my family, because of my great grandfather being a white guy, and my great grandmother being a full-blooded Piscataway woman, as far as I understand, her mother, she had 26 kids. And I got my family is very, very, very big. My grandma was the last of 26. Her youngest, she was the second to the youngest. Her little sister just passed away. But I say to say that our family, some of my family could be mistaken as being European, as being white people.
I understand.
Like in
But
America, you have
but
people who
I
very
understand now.
light skinned
I
who call
understand.
themselves Creoles or call themselves
Yeah,
by different names.
yeah, and I understand that. Now, of
Um,
course, like the shade.
Different nationality benefits, right?
Yes,
But
the
when you really
shade.
look at them, you can see clearly like they identify as being light-skinned people to a people who are darker than them.
Yes. Now the complexion of someone from Denmark will be much
Uh-huh.
lighter than someone from Italy or from Spain.
Right.
But they are both Caucasians. They are both white people. Now,
They be considered okay. Okay.
you
So what about the
see.
Italians?
What about the what?
Italians, will they be considered Caucasian?
Yeah, to me, yes.
Okay.
To me, yes. And of course, they will be darker in terms of hue, in terms of complexion. That's due to the weather, because it's like the border of it's basically the
Yep.
Mediterranean region. The not far from Africa, from the what do you call it again? The equator. So the weather's not the same as in Denmark and Sweden and all these other places. Now, um, you surely know the word abyad, right?
Say it one more time, sorry.
The Arabic word abyad.
Abiyad.
Yes, means white, right?
You say white? Okay.
Yeah, it was breaking up a little bit. So do you agree that abyad means white?
I'm not sure. I want
Mm.
I want to agree with you and say yes, but at the same time I'm unsure, so I don't want to contradict myself.
I understand.
Not saying
Well,
that you're wrong.
you
Pretty
you can
sure that
always
you
look
know
it up.
you studied enough ways that you know,
Yeah,
but
you can always
I won't
check
say
it, and
yes.
maybe some other
I'm not
time
sure.
you
But
can
go ahead, I'm
confirm.
listening to you though.
But that's the main word for white in Arabic, abyad, and the opposite is aswad, and aswad means black. Now it can be aswad or sauda as well. Do you have the window open?
Yeah, it's loud. Catching everything.
Yeah,
My bad. Go ahead. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So
You hear?
yeah, I can hear much better now. So you have abyad
Okay.
or baida. They both stands for white. You have basically the masculine and the feminine form. And for
Okay.
black, you have aswad and sauda. What those people have done
Okay.
lately is that they try to claim that abyad actually meant black back in the 7th century, back in the time of Prophet Muhammad. And that's
Okay.
their main claim. And they are using. You probably heard about Lisan al Arab from Ibn Mandur.
Ibn Abdul Mandud.
Ibn Mandur, yes. Lisan al Arab.
Ibn Abdul
Ibn Mandur.
Madud Arab.
Yeah.
Okay. Familiar with that
Well,
name?
it's a very famous Arabic lexicon, and in that lexicon it says at one point when someone says that such and such is uh, Abyad, they don't mean a white skin, but they mean someone noble and so on. So the Arabs seemingly made a distinction between the complexion of the Romans and themselves. And of course,
That's what I'm
just
saying.
like I
Like,
said, mhm.
mhm.
Just like I was saying, that someone from Sweden will have a much lighter complexion than someone from Italy. Then obviously, it's safe to say that someone from
Mhm.
Italy will have a lighter shade than someone from Saudi
Mhm.
Arabia. Unless they're just covering themselves like many of them do nowadays. Because in Saudi Arabia, just like in Egypt and all these different places. Oh, there's I don't know if you have the speaker, the loudspeaker, but I can hear my voice. But
Huh?
anyway, brother, feel free to speak so I can let the other people. I can give the other people a
Yeah.
chance to get the panel.
No, it's cool. I'm about to sign off anyway because I got people calling my phone. I got to make a few phone calls
All
right
right.
fast. So
Okay.
it was great rapping to you, man. I try to hop in.
Yeah.
I try to catch you when I can catch you, man. Hop in, enjoy the, you know what I'm saying, the conversation, man. It
Yeah.
definitely was a
Thanks for
pleasure,
coming.
man. You had me, man. And, I
Yeah.
appreciate
Thanks
you
for
giving us all, man, some insight on what you had to
coming.
share for us, man, today and always, man. It's
I
always a
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
man. Peace to you, man. You be safe.
Yeah. And
All
if
right.
some people
And
want to learn the
anybody out there,
meta,
man, if y'all haven't subscribed, man, run it up, man. Subscribe to this man channel. He got some information for y'all to have, man. A lot of great wisdom and knowledge, man, for y'all to keep, man. And just take advantage of it, man, because there's a lot of stuff being hidden from us out here in the world, man. We need to understand that and to
thank you.
appreciate that which is being given to us at any given time.
Thank you.
All right,
And
man.
if by
Peace. I'm
chance,
gonna sign off, man.
all right. Thank you. Thank you, Hotep. Now, well, let me deal with the question from our sister Thickness. Um, she wrote, I have a question. Can African Americans claim the culture of ancient Egypt? I want to know your thoughts on that. Now, I don't know exactly what you mean by claim, but up front, I would say yes. Anybody, well, it depends what you mean by culture. But we have black people in America who claim to be Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, and so on. They are definitely not Hebrew Israelites, but they took on the religion, but more than the religion, they claim the culture as well. Um, so if your question mean, can African Americans claim to be descendants of ancient Egyptian, that's something else. But anybody, well, to claim a culture, that question, see, maybe there's a need for clarification. If I claim the Chinese culture, I don't really have grounds for that. Now, if I like the Chinese culture and I want to practice it, I don't think anything can stop me, you see. So some people, for example, will deal with martial arts. They might go to some Shaolin temple, they will learn the Chinese, they will learn the martial art, and in some way they will leave the culture. You see, others will not necessarily go to China, but they will practice, some sort of some different martial art. Same for Japan. Some people will learn karate or aikido, but they might leave in Japan for a while, or visit Japan, or just stay wherever they are staying, in whichever country they are staying, and just practice martial art, and they end up, learning the language and therefore learning the culture. So yes, African Americans can claim the culture of ancient Egypt, but once again, maybe you need to clarify what you mean by claim. If you say claim as their own, like they are the descendants of ancient Egyptian, it is something else. And I'm not saying that we don't necessarily know what, particularly African Americans, they don't necessarily know where they come from. Now, some people will take a DNA test, but I'm very cautious about that because it will people move. And now, if the DNA test tells you your ethnic group, your tribe, that's something else. But from my understanding, the DNA test result tell you which country you are from. So the genetics doesn't tie you to a land, it ties you to some genes, and the genes come from some people, some population, and populations move a lot, you see. So that being said, we don't all necessarily know where we come from. But yes, indeed, I don't see why, African Americans or black people anywhere shouldn't claim the culture of ancient Egypt. People should be free to claim any culture. But I kind of have an issue with the word claim because it might not sound good to some. Like I'm claiming this culture, I'm claiming this culture. Let's say African Americans can practice the religion of Quebec. Some people don't like the word religion, so let's say the spirituality of Quebec. Not just African Americans, but any black person, no matter where he stays, no matter where he was born, no matter where he grew up, and he can practice the Kemetic spirituality. Some white people practicing the Kemetic spirituality. Some white people are learning the meta nature. So, brothers and sisters, I got to realize that most people don't get the notification. On YouTube, I've created a poll, a poll, a poll. And how many people? Well, there's 3 votes, and I will show so people can have an idea what it looks like. Share it. So this is my channel, and this is the community section. That's where you send messages that are meant to be seen by all the people who subscribe to the channel. And you see, I've shared this live stream, Hotep Kemetic people and others. I've written, join me as I'm live streaming right now, and I share the link. Now here, my poll is asking, do you receive a notification when I upload a video, when I'm live streaming, and when I post a message like this one? And you can see here it says 3 votes, so only 3 people voted. So nobody answered for when I upload a video and when I'm live streaming. And since I have quite a fair bit of subscribers, and there's only 3 votes, it's safe to presume that most people don't get the notification. I mean, I have 19,000 subscribers. Not all of them will check the channel on a regular basis, but out of 19,000, you have to have a small base. And it really explains to me why the views are so low now when I upload videos. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And I understand now why a lot of people just happen to be there when I'm live streaming. But when I'm uploading videos, there's not many views. So I suspect that some people just happen to go on YouTube and type in my ad forever and see, because my new videos will not pop up in their feed. Now I have shared the invite link, so feel free if you want to say what's up. If you don't want to get on the panel and you have any questions or statement, then feel free to use the chat. And if there's no participation, then I guess I'll call it a day. I've been live streaming for 1 hour and 10 minutes. It's been quite a while. I did not live stream for that long. But I hope you're doing well, brothers and sisters. I hope you're learning, and for those who don't know, I've been giving meta nature classes, and I'm definitely looking for new learners. I love teaching it. Actually, I was supposed to have a class today, but the brother couldn't make it. So I figured, let me use that opportunity and do a little live stream. And actually, I wanted to talk about this notification issue. I wanted to talk about it earlier today, but I did not really have the time. But now I have the opportunity. So, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, like they say. So let me know what's up, brothers and sisters. Let me know what's up. There's another thing I had in mind, but I kind of forgot. So what should we do, brothers and sisters? Should we cut it a day, or do you want to have any comments or statements? Do some of you want to learn the meta nature? Moish World TV. Well, I'm surprised. This is Tahaka Bay. And Tahaka Bay, I don't know if you're aware, but I addressed you. Because back in the days, you made a song called Hotepin. I didn't really like it because you made a song targeting a particular group of people, as if you don't have other philosophies where you have all sorts. And I think that you jumped on the bandwagon of, dissing Kemetic people because, at some point people used to say, it's a Hotep N-word and this and that. And then it was revealed that, you have some criminal record with all sorts of stuff, including, battery against women and all that. So I kind of addressed you. But I don't know if it would be a good idea to get on the platform because you deal a lot with drama. And there's another chick, apparently they're together, he's married, but apparently his wife was okay with that, and you're selling her tape of her dancing naked or half naked, and that's not a good move. Oh, but here he's calling in. So he says device is not connected. So I think you now it's Sean. Yeah, greetings. Feel free to speak. Can you hear me? Okay, he's asking me to wait one moment. We don't hear you. Oh, by the way, well, you might know that already because you live stream as well. But you're probably using Chrome, right? Yes, you're using Chrome. Strange. Well, maybe try to come out and come
now,
back.
can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. I can hear you now.
So I think you got me misunderstood, brother. So first, let me say peace, Hotep, and
Peace, Hotep.
all the greetings, whatever. I think you got me misunderstood. First, I was unaware that you made a statement, something in reference to the Hotepan song. The Hotepan song wasn't about the true believers and the subscribers of Egyptian or ancient Kemetic culture. That wasn't what it was about. If you listen to the lyrics, it says Hotepan, misrepresenting the lessons. I'm talking to those who's misrepresenting the lessons. So if you get a chance today, go back and listen to it again. Now the hook is really, really catchy, but it's to those who's misrepresenting the lessons. You follow what I'm saying? It's not to those. I take the name Tazaryach Bay, Tazaryach, hence Tazaryach. So that would be oxymoronic to disrespect our ancestors as it relates to ancient Kemet and take the name Tazaryach and then make a mockery out of the term Hotep. I'm talking to those who are disrespecting the lessons. If you go back and listen, you'll understand that.
I hear you, but people don't feel it, don't see it that way because
you have to speak for yourself, brother. Can't speak for people. Let's speak for you.
Okay, well, I didn't take it that way. Like if I made a song and it has more or Moorish in the song, and I'm dissing, obviously Moorish people will feel like, okay, he's dissing Moorish people. But I mean, the song was made. You made it years ago. We can't go back,
But listen to it. It say Hotepan, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming Black Power, but but you have to go.
Where's the progression? But like,
so let's be honest now. Regardless of what you may perceive it to be, and I designed it like that to catch your attention, not particularly you, but the listener. I designed it like that. But when you take back the attractive, I guess you would call it the melodic hook, if you will. When you take that away and you really listen to it, there is no lies in there. There is it's to catch your attention.
For example, you have that intro song, and at one point, if I'm not mistaken, you say, "Why do so many Kemetic people sound so gay or look so gay?" Something like that, right?
Right.
That's one more, recipe.
Okay. I got you. Now I could be guilty to your charge. I could be guilty to that. But in fact, I am referring to a brother who thought it was okay to attack Moors. I'm not going to mention him on your platform. I think you probably would know who he is. He did tons of videos on Sinai. And most of these things that I respond to or that I say, there's reason behind it. I don't do these things unprovoked. I'm usually responding to something.
But you know, it would have been best to name the brother. But when you say attack more, like what do you like? If I say I don't agree with what Drew Ali was teaching, is that attacking the Moors?
No, that's excellent. That's excellent. But when one says, it's a difference to say I don't agree and here's why, and then there's another thing to say Kentucky Fried Chicken hat, bucket hat. That's another thing. You see, so if we want to get childish, I'm gonna get childish with you because see, many Moors over the years would not respond. You know how our matriarchs would say, or our patriarchs say, "We'll meet you where you at. We'll meet you where you at." I am willing to meet you where you're at. So if you want to go in that direction, I'm willing to go there with you. Other Moors wanted to appear to be intellectuals, wanted to appear to be very charismatic, but won't cross that line. See, I'll walk right up to that line with you. Now, I won't initiate that sort of thing, but I will respond. So if you choose to say, this is goofy stuff, the bucket hat, the Moors enslaved Africans, and all of this old goofy stuff, then I will respond on that same vibration, and I will try my best to bring the vibration up. That's normally what I'm doing. I never initiate these things. Never ever initiate these things.
I mean, there's always been some contentions in the so-called conscious community, and in the past and now, and it will always happen. It's inevitable. I had my issues with a few people, and but I'm not here to tell you what you should do as a man in your life, but I really feel like selling that video of that girl twerking. I mean that's low.
Well, in fact, I never sold the video per se. What I did,
that's a fee.
No, I want you to understand. I want you to understand. Now, this stuff has been around the internet. It's been around the internet. Now the sister actually attacked me, her and Sinetta together, attacked my wife, whatever the case may be. So what I'm actually doing is saying, okay, this is a person that claimed to be a scholar of the Bible. And now we know whether we believe in the Bible or not, there's principles that come with these religious texts. But this person claiming to be a scholar of this religious text is doing this at the same time. Now, when you attack me, attack my wife, talk about me and my wife shacking up. See, many people don't see the attacks on me, but they see the response because how animated I am. I'm pretty loud. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in your face. But it's really a response, calling my wife a concubine. I mean, on and on and on. So my thing is, okay, if you feel as though that you are a scholar and you are teaching someone the principles of this religious text, then hold up. What are you teaching over here when you flexing, twerking, popping on the internet? So if you want to go there, let's keep it religiously, keep it to the text.
But there might be a nuance there, because this footage of her twerking, she did not put it for the internet. She sent it to some guy, obviously.
No, that's what she said. But it's on the internet. See, this is the thing.
It's on the internet. Obviously, the guy she sent it to, she linked it on the internet. But in the first place, when she made that, she probably was involved sentimentally. She probably dating the dude.
Well, I didn't get it from anybody. I've got it off the internet. I got it off the internet. If you Google Napah, you will be surprised what will come up. Just Google Napah Shah. If you know how to use Google, put things in the search engine and see what comes up. Now, the thing is, it's not necessarily because of the shock value of what you see and some of the lustful nature of some of our brothers and even our sisters, and it grabs your attention. But in reality, I'm doing a comparison. That would be just like if someone found some footage of me smoking a blunt. And they say, well, aha, he's teaching this here.
No, that's a lot different, because you know, if you
okay,
like you have a girl, yeah, she's like, you know, she's naked or half naked.
Listen to me.
That's her
that would be
intimacy.
just like if someone found a picture of me stripping, and they say, aha, right here he's in the temple, he's teaching. Right here, he's stripping like one of these guys in Vegas. And now, listen.
I'm not trying to defend her. I don't know her. I never spoken to her.
What position do I have to get mad because someone caught me with my hands in the cookie jar? My thing would be to say, listen, yes, maybe I was stripping or I did. You know what? That was me.
But she cannot deny it. She cannot deny it, you know.
Yeah,
but she didn't do it for the internet. She did it for one particular dude.
That's what she said. Why is her word so critically important to be legitimate?
Okay. Now, let's get
as opposed to.
Do you feel like she did that for the internet?
No, I feel as though that however she did it, it's over. Let me tell you something. There's over 100, and that's 100 with 2 zeros. There's over 100 different images and footages. Different. I didn't throw all that I found out there. There's over 100. Now, what person? Now, here's her rationale. She meets somebody on the internet. She never meet them in person before. She claims they're supposed to get married. Never ever meet the person in person, and she claims this is the person she gave this stuff to. Now, on the flip side of that, the guy say, man, listen, I told her I didn't want nothing to do with her. She didn't give me nothing. And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's what the guy said. I don't know. I know that if you Google her and you put in the different search engines, what will come up is come up. And now I'm comparing the contrast of what we see and what we don't see. That's it. And it all comes from the attacks. Don't attack me. Don't attack me, because I don't even know you. I don't know her. I have no beef against you. I don't know.
But you know, I don't understand. I mean, you know, Sanetta, he's doing it a little bit less than before, but he's been beefing with people on a regular basis. And whether that's Minister Enki, whether that's Polite, whether that's yourself and other people, this is something he's been doing. You know, they break up, make up. I mean, not as, you know, like a couple, but you know, they're cool. Like then they well, no, I don't. No, it's not what I'm trying to say. But like they're cool, they're not cool, stuff like that. But even yourself, you have issues with a lot of people. Like Minister Enki, he used to be on your platform, and you were cool.
Right.
The next thing I know, you guys beefing.
Right. Like so this is what happens, brother. Say for instance, most people that come on my platform, they got to hold to a standard. One of the standards is, if you came on my platform and you was teaching Medunata, and someone would say, well, you know, Brother Mayat forever, he's off right there. I would say, Brother Mayat, would you allow this person to tell us where you off, and maybe you can give us clarification?
Yeah, that's one thing.
If you would say no, I don't take no questions, then I say, well, brother, what do you mean? You can't teach and not take questions. That was that situation. People were asking about Brother Enki indiscretions of the past, and behind the scenes he had said, no, I'm not answering nothing. I don't owe them no. They crackheads. They like, what are you talking about? Not on this platform. You have to, if you're going to teach on this. Ultimately, I feel as though my brother Enki had plans to try to market his product through Moorish World TV. I think that's what it was. And the moment that I say that was it, after that little kombucha conversation, I said that was it. You know, he went super off the left. Man, my mama. So People,
that's not good. I mean, I don't
I get the
understand why
last word though.
why
I get
people
the
would talk
last
about
word. That's the problem they
family
have.
members like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I mean, we're all a certain age now, you know. I guess if we were younger, but you know, I don't really get it when they talk so much about family members.
But
But
listen,
mm.
these people
but
make like 3 and 4 videos before I respond. But my one video, it'd be so explosive. They already make 4 and 5 videos. Inky, I think he made like 4 videos. And I just sit back and watch them like, Sanetta, same way. I said, Sanetta got me 4 videos up right now. I have no need or no time to go in there because he's shooting himself in the foot. So whatever.
But
you know, I'm over that.
Yeah, I would like to ask you because actually I heard that I can't remember if Enki was on there, but he was on your platform if I'm not mistaken, and they were talking about some Moorish guy that is known in the community, well, at least in the Moorish community, and he was kind of caught doing something with a boy.
That's not true. That's not true.
But what was that? Wasn't that on your platform that it was addressed?
No, that wasn't on my platform. That
it wasn't.
So
my bad.
No, that wasn't on my platform. That was the backdoor attack on myself. So the guy that actually made me a grand sheik, you know, this thing the guy is an old guy. He's passed away now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's deceased now.
He's passed away now.
Yeah.
So he can't defend himself. You know what I'm saying?
But what wasn't it Minister Enki who talked about this?
Not on my platform. He did that on the back end. On the back end.
So he did that on his own platform.
Yeah.
I forgot. I addressed it though. But
yeah.
you know, it was even said that they went to his house and they found like some child porn or something like that. Some porn.
You know the difference, brother Mayat, forever. You know the funny part about this? That's sensationalism. Every time I do a show, if anybody on your platform watch my show, anytime I do a show, you know what I do? I screen share. That's how you know she was twerking, because I screen share. Why nobody never screen share all this stuff that they talk about?
Well, I don't think there's footage of that.
No, what I'm saying is they don't screen share somebody reporting it. They don't. They just talking. They just talking.
So your stance is that those allegations are false, right?
The allegations are totally false, and I can actually email you a video where I did the investigation myself, and I got the whole. Let me tell you something. The guy was a Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America. There was an investigation to make sure that no improprieties had happened. I wasn't a part of the organization at that time under that administration, but actually, when I heard that via the internet, I actually went to him. I got an interview with him. I said, brother, is any of this true? He said, absolutely not. And this is why. And he gave a chronological layout of what play for play of how that happened, how that thing happened. And it was a split between him and another guy. The other guy right now that started the whole rumor. He's actually not only a grand sheik, he's also a pastor of a church. How do you be a grand sheik of the Moorish?
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's some secretism right there.
Yeah.
But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone is accused of something and he says I didn't do it.
Well, you know, they said to me.
But what about the so-called victim, the young boy? That's something.
There is none. There is none. That's the point. Do you know what they said about me recently?
No,
that I'm a sex offender.
Did they?
It's all on the internet.
But I mean, if you are, this record, right?
No, they show a piece of paper, and on the paper it says sex offender with a Y. He's a sex offender. Now listen. So I respond. I didn't want to give it too much attention, but I gave it some attention. I said, listen, why don't you go to I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
Go to the Maryland Sex Offenders Registry. Go to the National Sex Offenders Registry. Put in my birth name, Toronto Johnson. You see how transparent I am? It should come up. Now, secondly, you should They accused me of assaulting.
But there was some record, and there's some document, like, that said that you had some sort of, like, you assaulted a woman, basically.
Listen, I had plenty. I'm from the hood, brother.
No,
I
I'm
get the
I'm not. No,
police
I'm not
call
talking.
on me all the time.
I'm not talking about, like, like whatever, just the street life that many went through.
Right.
But there was some record that was put out that shows that you like assaulted a woman.
No, these are accusations, brother. What they doing is, me and my children's mother always had conflict.
Yeah, that happens.
Always.
That happens.
But
Yeah.
the point that I'm making is, many of the things that they put out, you can bring it up, and it's where the police was called or it was thrown out. It was
All right.
ghetto conflict. You know what
Yeah.
ghetto conflict is in relationships?
No, I know.
And
Yeah,
you never
yeah.
go to court. And you
Yeah.
never go to court. So,
Yeah.
so the point is, but I'm transparent. Let me tell you something. The difference is, brother Mayat, anytime that one would try to do that, they can never put me in this place or in this space in the time where I'm uplifting, where I'm teaching, or where I'm trying to elevate our constituents. They can never say that. So if I did practice some of that ill, crazy, sick behavior, the difference is that at this hour, you can never say that I practice anything even close to that of which I may have been accused of. Now, with that being said, that shows you the power of the evolution of the mind as it relates to uplifting oneself. So what you're really doing is confirming that what I believe is a real thing, because who I used to be or was projected to be is no longer that person. So bring it on. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, so if I'm that transparent, back to my brother Inky, if I'm that transparent, I desire that people come on my platform to also be transparent.
So basically, the fallout with you and Enki was because he refused to be questioned, right?
Yes, he didn't want to be questioned about some water that was supposed to have been sold and it poisoned people, got a little girl sick.
Yeah, like alkaline water and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he didn't want to be questioned about that.
Yeah.
And then people wanted to question him about his CMOS and a whole,
I've heard about that.
laundry
Yeah.
list of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this would help your business. Just be transparent. You know what I'm saying? But he refused to. And when I told him, you know what I mean, that's it with the show. And the numbers was what? Sometimes 14,000 a night. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, he just went nuts, man. He just lost it.
And I saw that he lost his account.
Yeah.
So now I don't know if his account is like Minister Enki said it first or something, but
he's rebuilding. He's rebuilding now, but I mean, I don't know what he expect. You know, I have 20-some thousand subscribers, and you sitting up there calling my son, mother, fat, and like probably my audience.
I mean, most of our mothers.
Come on,
fat.
man.
Let's keep it real.
It's
most
goofy.
of our mothers are fat. You know.
But you know the funny part about even like when Sanetta make these crazy, egregious comments about my wife or my mother, my sister, or whatever, they don't realize that these same phenotypes or body types or the same environment that my people and I come from are watching your program. You're actually talking about them. And so, what happens is when they feel like that, I feel as though they went gun ho, and a little time than none, Nicky Channel was down.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that by myself.
Yeah. Now there's a Ali Muhammad. Yeah. Was it with you that he wanted to have
he will have a fight?
Yeah.
He will have a fight.
But he has stopped now talking about you, right? Or
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea because I only want to address him intellectually.
Yeah. I mean, I saw at one point he was addressing you, and I saw it's like, I want to have a fight.
If I was to fight, there wouldn't be an internet sensation putting on gloves. No, if I was to fight, we're gonna close the door. Your people out front, my people out front, and whoever walk out. We're not gonna be savages for the internet. Are you tripping? We close the door, and whoever walk out. And that's, man, I'm too old to play them games. But I have a problem with you intellectually. I have a problem with the knowledge and with the manipulation that you have perpetrated on our people for the last 15 years. That's my issue.
Because like Enki, some people say that he kind of, was under the wing of Ali Muhammad.
He was under the wing of Ali Muhammad as well as under the wing of Brother Polite. And so you get what you got.
That is known. That is known. He was part of New Covenant, and
that's right.
And
so
I
that
mean, the thing that really surprised me is that he's been in New Covenant for a long time, and one day, I see Sanetta saying that Enki stole my laptop and stuff like that. And then I see that they're cool again. And Enki at one point he dissed Polite, and that's way before the accusation,
right?
Because the accusation are severe, but the dude is free. I'm like, what's up with the American justice system? How are you gonna do all these things and they allegedly have semen and all that, and the dude is free partying and all that? It's very strange to me,
You see. So, brother, now that you get to talk to me, I think. I do get a bad rap because I'm telling you, I give a show.
Well, you have a lot of drama on your channel.
I don't mind it though. I don't mind it, and the reason why I don't mind it, brother, is this: the Moors. I don't know how long. How long have you been around with this conscious ideal digitally on the internet?
Well, I started my website in 2004.
Okay, so boom, you here before me. You here before me. The only reason I came to the internet. The same person you see now is the person in my mother's living room. The same person you see now is the person you see in the temple. I am this person. The only reason I came to the internet is because there was so many attacks against the Moors. And that video where I seen 2 videos, Brother Seti saying that Moors enslaved Black people, Moors enslaved Africans. And he was using some Congolese with fezzes on. And then it went viral around the internet. Moors enslaved Africans. That was from Seti. And then I seen Sabir Bey get dragged by Seti. Those 2 inspire me. What I mean dragged by Seti.
You mean that debate with Morris Brooklyn,
Yeah. Seti handed him his behind. I mean, whoa.
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing.
It was.
Yeah.
So at
but
that point,
the worst was Alim Bey, because he was a proper debate setting.
So
I mean, that was
that didn't really affect me because Alim Bey wasn't as popular as Sabir Bey. Sabir was on the radio at the time. So yeah, he's a bigger influencer, and people thinking that he's Moorish because he got Bey on his name. But he's never been a member of a temple.
He's not a temple Moor, right?
Never. And so anything that he teaches is going to be taken with a grain of salt. However, when I seen that, I was like, and I didn't see no Moors from the temple and those that was qualified to even defend the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and what we stand for. So at that point, I decided that, hold up, man. As loud as I am in this temple, as loud as I am in the living room, hold up, man. This is ridiculous. And so that's when I decided to come and move forward. Hold on, brother. That's when I decided to move forward on a platform.
There's the Amenwa squad. I was actually back in 2010. I was associated with them. I was a very regular caller. I was even asked to join, but because I'm in France, and back then I used to have to wake up at 4 a.m. to get on the show, I said, I cannot make that commitment, because if I'm part of a group, then I want to be there, very regularly. But still, I was there on a very regular basis. Then things went left when they had that Moorish guy, Ismail Allah, that we don't hear much from him now. I think he retired from the internet.
He was just on my platform hosting a debate the other day.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
He's still around.
But he I always disagree with the Nation of Islam teaching, the 120, because he says that Africans are living a jungle life, Africans are not civilized, and there's that video that you probably seen from Farrakhan saying that we rebelled against God, and that's when our phenotype changed. We didn't have kinky hair, the essence of ugliness. So I always disagree with that. Yeah. And I always disagree with the Moorish lessons as well. The Moorish 101, the Moorish questionnaire, and You probably heard.
Particularly, I can't stay too long because I got to get ready to leave.
Oh,
but
no problem, no problem.
I really would love to invite you to teach the audience. It has nothing to do with controversy. Like, you know, I do maybe I stand out for the controversy, but I do a whole bunch of different type of shows. I actually got a channel, Moore's World TV 7, where it's nothing about teaching. So the offer is still open.
Well, you know, what we can do, if you want, feel free to come on my platform, and if you can, I think it should not be difficult to do, but you can live stream at the same time on your channel. Is it something?
I'm not doing that.
No,
I ain't doing that. No, but
why
no,
not?
if you think about it, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I wanted to hear, what did you have? That was one of the questions, because that I can run that through my mind. One of the questions on the questionnaire. What part do you disagree with?
Well, it says that Jesus taught in India, right?
India, Africa, and Europe. India, Africa, and Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, and where does that come from?
Well, there is actually a teaching in India that says that Jesus is actually buried there. You know what I'm saying? That he did not die on the cross, and they actually have a tomb for Jesus in India because he returned, and that was his final resting place. So that is not from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali never said that he authored this. He said he compiled this. So this is a compilation. You know what I'm saying?
That's what some people say, because of course, you know, there's a plagiarism of the Aquarius.
No, it's not a plagiarism. A plagiarism is a plagiarism. He tells you that this is a compilation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, he said it's prepared.
He tells you, no, I have the letter where he's about to introduce it. And he said, I'm a grand sheik, brother. This is not the internet. He has a letter and he tells you what this is.
I get you, but in the 7th Circle Quran, it says divinely prepared, right?
No, on the front, divinely prepared. It's on the front, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali.
Okay. Well, let me ask you then. Jesus teaching in Europe, where does that come from?
Jesus teaching in Europe, that comes from actually come from the same Indian script.
Well, but you see, this Indian script is far remote from the Christian tradition, from the Jewish tradition. We don't have any record whatsoever. Their story, whether it's fictional or factual, you know, Jesus, you know, dies on the cross and resurrects, you know, 3 days later and goes up in the sky. There's no mention of Jesus going to India or Europe.
But the whole point is who controls the narrative of that story. Just like you mentioned earlier, that we don't know where pinpoint where the Africans in America come from. You said that, right? But who controls the narrative of that story? In fact, there's actually bill of ladings where the slaves were picked up at. We can tell where they came from. You understand what I'm saying? This was commerce. This was commerce. Just like when UPS go pick up something, they have a bill of lading. There are bill of ladings where these ships went at. Now, the complicated part to your point is that some of these tribes or nations were mixed and intermingled and then was all put on together. So to your point, you're right there. But the point of destination can be actually pinpoint of where they were picked up at, because this was business. It wasn't like people try to make it out to be, let's grab some Africans, throw them on here. No. This was business.
Well, a bit more than business, but you know, before you go, if maybe
you can address business. It was a brutal business, but it was business still.
Well, racism played a big part. Religion played a big part as well.
It was all business, though.
Well,
race was implemented in it.
Okay.
Christianity is business.
Well, if you say it like that,
Islam is business.
But can we address briefly the nationality? Because that's where things went really left with Ishmael Allah. Because I asked him, what's your nationality? He said, Moor. And I asked him, do you have a passport? He said, yes. And I asked him, what is written in the nationality field of your passport? And he said, Moor. And he kept repeating it.
Come on, I gotta go.
No, because I don't want to make you late, but that's when things went left, because he lied to the people saying that he says more in the nationality field of his passport, but Moorish or Moor is not a recognized nationality.
And regardless if it was a recognized nationality, once you are American citizen on your passport, it's going to say American. If a person is from Poland,
US, yes.
Yeah, and exactly. If a person is from Poland, it's going to say U.S. citizen. If you become you're not going to have Polish American on it. No, you're going to have what you are as born here or you are naturalized here. So that doesn't even play a part
Yeah.
So
And he said that on tape, and then he
nah,
slandered
that
me,
doesn't
and
play a
I
part,
lost
bro.
my car. Yeah.
And see, I don't see, and this is, I was telling a brother from the Sunni community that I'll be debating on Sunday. I say, brother, you got me mixed up. I'm not gonna give you no pseudo. I'm gonna give you actual facts that you could walk out here and use today. I'm not going to give you something where you like, man, where can I find it? And you never can find it in a million years. I'm going to give you nationality and practice today. I'm going to give you more science and practice today. I'm not going to give you something that is worse than the spookism of which we was discovering yesterday didn't mean nothing. And just,
Well,
and
okay.
just dressed it up again. I'm not going to do that.
Tell me, brother, like, would you have time tomorrow for me to go on your channel?
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, is a holy day, bro. So I'm a
Oh.
devout Moorish American Muslim. So I'll be in the temple on Friday, and I usually don't go live on. But what time?
What about Saturday?
Saturday night, maybe. What time? What time is it? 9:30 there. What's a good time though? Let me see.
The Baltimore, is it EST? Is it the same time
Yeah.
as New York? It's
Eastern
the same time
time,
as
yeah.
Eastern time. So if we say Saturday, if we say like the afternoon New York, like for example 2 p.m. New York time, it's
Kind
not
of
good.
tough, bro.
Not good.
Will you let me send you my email. Let's set it up behind the scenes because I don't want to be late picking up my son.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. You have my email address, right? I'm going to type it there.
I'm sending it to you right now. I'm sending you mine.
Okay.
Harkabay@gmail.com. And I'll get back with you this evening.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, bro, don't believe the hype, bro. I'm just a hyper guy. Don't believe the hype, bro.
All right.
Okay,
Well, thanks for calling in, brother.
Yeah, man. I know. I actually drop in. I check you out a lot, bro. I check you out a lot.
I didn't know that, but I watched your channel. I've watched
the I don't chime in a lot. Only reason I don't chime in a lot because I'm glad that yeah, the only reason I don't chime in a lot because sometimes when I do chime in, it disturbs people's channel. You know what I mean? So I just watch and I learn. You follow me?
All right. Okay.
I support you, my brother.
I appreciate that. All right, peace. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got the email. So copy and paste it. Yeah, I'm very surprised. And you see, nobody's perfect, brothers and sisters, but it's good to try to remain diplomatic because that song, some of you might know about it. I didn't really like the song. I didn't address it then, but then when some other stuff came up, and then I addressed it. But we can always talk about our differences because we always have some differences. and as a people, ultimately, I think we can do better, but there's just too much drama. And that's why many times I like to say that, I'm not really on that rah-rah stuff because it just doesn't help. We already have so much trouble in the streets. We beef, like black people beef like so easy, and we are quick to resort to violence amongst ourselves. We're very quick to do that. And we can always improve. We all make mistakes, and but anyway, now brothers and sisters, feel free for again. We had the brother Chris, and I don't know if you've seen that, but I did put you on the panel, and I guess you bounced because you probably didn't want to interrupt the conversation. But if you want to come back, then feel free. We have Claudia Barton who wrote "Knock Him Out the Box," Shaka. Oh, knock him out the box. That's children's story. Is it what he says? Does he say knock him out the box? I think that's a song by Slick Rick. But let me send an email to Tahakabe. But I would have never expected him to come on my channel. It felt very strange. Well, just him being on the chat and him calling in, you know what I'm saying? But I think he forgot the T. He forgot the T. So feel free if you want to add on, in the chat. I'm just sending a quick email. But for those who don't know, Tazaryach Bey has this channel called Moorish World TV. Like he said, he has another one, like I think it's Moorish World TV 7. But his main channel is Moorish World TV. I actually looked at one of his latest videos where it was a sister that used to be in the New Black Panther Party, and he's interviewing many people from different school of thoughts. Now, letting him know about the time difference. Now, um, oh, actually, I'll make another proposition for Saturday. Uh, Saturday, April 30. Um, if I do minus, okay, let's say 30. That is, it's been sent. Oh, Claudia wrote "we." Most of you must know it's French for yes. Wow, that's very surprising. I would have never expected to speak with Tazaryach Bey, and it's good to speak with people of different school of thoughts, and being able to remain cordial. Like I said, there's enough drama, there's enough beef. So, well, brothers and sisters, should we call it a day now? Should we call it a day? Are there any people who actually see Tazaryach Bey or Moorish World TV? That's the name of his channel. He's asking me if I could introduce the Medu to the Moors and the subscribers on his channel. You see, so he was interested about the Medu. So, oh, I remember now what I wanted to talk about that I said I forgot earlier, and I will say that just after reading Claudia's message she wrote, especially when you called him out about the shaming of the young lady, directed people to her news over some words concubine. I did not really know what the words were. I knew there was some back and forth, with Sanetta, but I mean, ultimately, the response seems disproportionate. But I've heard some things I didn't know. Like if there was 100 or so pictures slash videos, that's a bit different. So you have to wonder what's up now. But still, it's really not necessary. But he was attacked. He responded the way he responded, and people don't respond the same way. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm sure I'm not the first one who told him, hey, that's not the way to go. Probably more people told him behind the scene than publicly. So it's for him to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know her. I have never spoken to her. I don't even necessarily agree with what she's talking about because she looks like an ex-Hebrew Israelite who's still tied to this Hebrew doctrine. But when I heard her saying that, we have three hearts, like one here, and one here, That was it for me. To me, she's like, into metaphysics and stuff like that. And brothers and sisters, I don't deal with metaphysics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody needs to break down to me, how biologically, scientifically, a human being has three hearts. To me, it's like way off. But she's not the only one. She's not the first one. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't have anything against her. Actually, I even heard that she said she has some family members, like a grandmother or something like that, or grandmother who's from Haiti. And my parents are from Haiti. So, you know, uh, I really don't have anything against. No, I'm not saying I don't have anything against her just because she's Haitian. Like any Haitian is cool. If a Haitian is on some BS, I'm not gonna accept it. I'm not gonna roll with it. But all this to say that I'm not trying to. Oh, here's brother Chris. Hey, Hotep, brother. Hotep. I don't hear you right now. Actually, I don't hear any sound. Oh, now I hear my voice. There's the echo, but I don't hear your voice. Yeah, I hear the car though. I don't know if you can. Okay, he's gonna come back now. Mrs. C wrote, I think most of them are frauds. I don't listen to any. Well, unfortunately, that's the sad thing. Amongst the conscious community, there's too many people who are, just shaky. See, earlier you heard about the alkaline water, and I'm not a biologist, and I mean, but just the whole idea of alkaline water. I've been hearing people talking about sea moss, but you have people who sell products and they claim that it would give you some benefits, but for the most part, it's not true. And ultimately, here's our brother Chris. What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
I
can hear
didn't
you now.
access my. Yeah, I didn't access my camera or my microphone. I had it unaccessed right now. So
All right.
what's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm here. I was listening to the live stream, and then I saw your post on YouTube, and you said, thank you for those who supported me during this difficult time. So I'm like, dang, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you, let you know. I'm someone like to just for the people that were helping or still helping. I just want to say thank you to them because sometimes people don't say thank you enough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I just saying thank you, but beware. There are people that people. You know what I'm saying? So I got scammed. That's all I can say.
Oh, you got scammed out of money.
Yeah.
But is it like is it something that you address publicly, like you said the name of the person that scammed you, or something you don't really want to?
Well, it's something I really don't want to do
Mm,
because it's not an open and shut case like that. But
mm,
because it was an LLC company and they were able
mm.
to move and get away with it, there's nothing I could really do. So
Is it actually the job you used to do, or is something you try to do on the side?
something I was trying to invest in on the side.
Uh,
Nothing big. Yeah.
so like you ask for donation probably on what's the name, cash app, and do you want to share the cash app and the PayPal for the people who want to support you?
I guess. I mean, it's dollar sign C Harris,
Hold on,
dollar
hold on,
sign
hold on. C Harris with the one R or two R's.
two R's
Hmm?
79.
79. And that's it. C Harris 79. Like this.
Let me see. It's dollar sign C Harris 79.
Yeah, okay. And what about the PayPal?
No, I don't have a
Oh,
PayPal.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have a PayPal now. So,
Mm.
yeah, like I said, things happen to people, and if it seems, I'll tell anybody after I've learned a hard lesson. If it
Mm.
seems too good to be
To be
true,
true, most likely it
it,
is.
it, it most likely it is.
Yeah.
And I've been getting scolded by my old man because of that. He says, "I know you were eager." And like I said, the eager beaver also led to the collapse of a dam. So,
Mm.
so yeah, if it seems too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it is. So it's frustrating more so than anything. So
Yeah, I can imagine, and it reminds me of people of the conscious community and Pan Africans. They know the scammers and they don't denounce them. They actually even support them, and I don't like that. But I wanted to ask you. I saw you on Sanetta with that Moorish guy, and then Sanetta said,
oh
"Okay,
my
what
God.
about Monday
Yeah.
or Tuesday?" So what happened? Is it canceled now?
Yeah, what Sonnetters told me was he said, Chris, it's no point of you debating somebody like that. That guy is Sonnetter look at him as sort of like a clown. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah, but
put words in Sonnetter's mouth,
yeah,
but
I
he said there would
understand.
be
I
no
understand.
use of you debating him. Yeah,
Yeah, but
after
that's
engaging him.
strange. He obviously had a change of heart because I remember you did not even want to debate. Then Sanetta insisted. He
Right.
said, "Look at the title." You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But hey,
Yeah.
he has a right to change his mind. Okay, okay.
Yeah, he
But
just felt. I think he felt like after seeing the engagement and looking at the audience reaction, he probably says, "No, I'm not gonna put
yeah,
Chris in front of this guy because Chris it's just gonna be a one-way ticket." You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't.
yeah. I mean, you
It just wouldn't
and
be. I wouldn't even be interested in it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I mean, you have a status. You had Zion Lex show, and
yeah,
so you can't just debate just anybody. You know what I'm saying? People need to get their weight up to get to you. At this point, that's what it should be. You know what I'm saying? Because Zion
yeah,
Lex is running around acting like he's one of the top scholar in the community, and he was really really cornered. During your debate with him. But
Yeah, yeah, he was. Same as Vocab Malone. Same thing would happen with a lot of the
I,
guys, and I just tell
that
them I'm not here to debate your faith. I'm not interested in your faith. But since
yeah.
you're trying to make this a historical narrative, or since we're going to talk the development of the text or where the
Mhm.
language comes from, you're going to lose against me at that stuff.
Mm.
So,
Because the guy, the Moorish guy, he doesn't have anything to lose going against you. Whether he wins or lose, it's still a good look for him. You know what I'm saying? But what is
right.
that thing he said he was going to prove that there was like a Hyksos in Hebrews were the Hyksos? What is it that he said that sounded
yeah, well,
funny?
what he said was, okay, so that's why I was on there when I saw Taharka Bay on here. I was going to ask him, why is it whenever we engage you Moors in a scholastic conversation, you guys always create red herring arguments as answers? I was going to start talking to him about that.
Hmm.
And one thing I was dealing with this Kemetian Hebrew adept Hebrew font, that was his name, which is weird. What do Egypt have to do with Moors? It's beyond me. Um, I was asking him some important questions, and I heard him say Noble Drew Ali is his prophet, but he's not part of the Moorish Science Temple. I said that was weird to me, right? It was real
Hmm.
weird to me that you're not part of your own prophet's temple. So when I asked him about this Hyksos Exodus, they pushing. I says, what date are you using? He said he didn't use the Gregorian calendar, and I says, okay. He said he uses the Moorish calendar, which is nothing but an Islamic calendar.
Hmm.
So a Muslim calendar. And I said, okay, so how do you superimpose the Hebrew lunar calendar onto something that's strictly, I'm sorry, the Hebrew solar lunar calendar onto something that's strictly lunar? Please show me the cultural context on how I'm supposed to understand that. You understand what I'm saying? And of course, he wasn't going to be able to do it, but him coming into a debate like that, he has all the equity because he doesn't have to show a timeline. You know what I'm saying? But I control the narrative because I'm presenting timelines and I'm presenting facts. But he has some equity because he could just say, "Well, I never said I was going to show you that." It becomes a game of cat and mouse, and it's not the type of debate I like dealing with. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just like it's actually stupid. How you talking about something as a historical narrative, and yet you don't want to use dates?
That's weird. That's weird. I mean, some people, and it's still the same. They have a hard time saying I don't know, and there's no shame in not knowing something.
Right,
So they make a lot of claims, but when it's time to show and prove,
right.
that's why it's shaky, you know. But it's
Yeah,
amazing. It's amazing how after all this research, after the internet being widespread, after books being available for download in a few seconds, and all the documentaries being available online for free on YouTube, that people still want to push this Exodus narrative. I mean, scholars themselves, they don't even push that.
Right. And he tried to show he said, I'm gonna show you proof of it today. And he shows a movie. And I guess he thought I never saw that movie before. And he says, see, I showed you proof. That's not proof, that's commentary. You should know the difference.
They are reaching. They're all over the place, reaching here, left and right. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once I saw it was no longer worth my time, like I said, hey guys, I'm out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out. It wasn't really worth any more of my time. So I'm not going to continue to entertain him. And I guess all of them decided from the lion's den or the liar's den that, yeah, we're going to go after him now. Yeah. And you guys make a fool of yourself everywhere you go. Ignorance does do that.
I mean, and that's a shame, because you will always have some people who don't agree with you. But I don't know why we are so vicious amongst ourselves. You have some people who try to find dirt about you, making false claims about you, slandering you, all because they just don't agree with your stance. You know what I'm saying? And in Swedish, and that's why I addressed earlier. But Tarkabe had to go. But Ishmael, I don't know if you followed that time, back in like 2011. But Ishmael Allah, or Ishmael Bey, who was part of Amen Ra squad, he got heated when I was like disagreeing with the Nation of Islam teaching. Because the guy is a former Nation of Islam member. He's a 5%er. He's a Moor, and so he's so many things at the same time. And then when we had that discussion, question and answers, and I asked him about what is written in the nationality field of your passport, and he kept saying Moor. Then I said, can you show and prove that? He said, if I have to, absolutely I will. So he lied on air for the whole world to see, and he was so pissed. We were so pissed. He flagged my channel every day. I was getting flagged. Ultimately, I lost 2 channels with thousands of subscribers, and he made an anonymous slander video. And how did I know it was him? And in the video, he basically saying, my mother is a, my father is, I'm a, using a lot of profanity, saying that I'm a traitor because I had a Haitian nationality and then I changed to the French nationality. Even though this is something that my parents did. I was underage. When you're born in France, you can get the nationality. But anyway, I knew it was him because the YouTube account that created that anonymous slander video, it was obviously a voice, the softwares where you tap the text and it's a robotic voice. The guy, one of the first guy that subscribed to the channel, he was Ankh from the Amenwa squad, Right. And then one day I called the Amenwa squad because we were going back and forth, and then Ishmael Allah started insulting me, so I bounced. And when I bounced, he repeated almost verbatim the same things I was said in the anonymous slander video. That's how I knew it was him. I suspected it was him anyway, but then I had the confirmation. So he went very, very low. He actually behaved like a savage, because they say that they are wise and civilized, but he actually behaved like a savage. Until this day, he never apologized. Uncle apologized for all the BS, but not Ishmael. But that's just weird. And the funny thing also is that in the anonymous slander video, he was saying, Shaka, he's having coffee in Paris with white women, but he's the dude who's married to a white woman. But I leave it there. I leave it there. Oh man, they're attacking
we've
crazy.
seen your misses. We've seen your misses on your channel before. You had it right there. It's weird the stuff that they do.
I mean, they have
distract your information.
They have a huge drive. They have a lot of energy when it's time to attacking you and slandering you. When really, it could be, let's see with the information. What you're saying, I don't agree with it. You're saying that, you have that record, or it says this, but actually I checked it, and then That's the way to go, really. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
well, yeah, like
Well,
some
like
people
I
say,
said, is
it comes with the territory.
yeah, it comes with the territory because they feel like they're defending something, and you're
Mm.
just sitting up here giving out the information. And like one person was sitting up there saying, "Oh, he's mixed. He's just got in Jeremiah Judah. He's mixed." It's like
Yeah.
what? Like, is it this stupid? You know what I'm saying? It's like, is it this stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, they're very immature. And like I said, I don't do WWF debates. I don't do those. I
Yeah.
look for the higher scholar. Like I saw Mr. Bailey on channel, and I wanted to ask him about that. Like, why is it you guys aren't pushing black intelligentsia? Why aren't you guys pushing the scholastic sector? Why every time I look up, you guys engaged in some beef, some online beef? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk about that because that's an important conversation that we need to be having. Because a lot of these, like I said, it's a lot of thug shit invading nerd
Yeah.
space. And
Yeah.
when you look at Ti, he's trying to do comedy now. Now
Mm.
Ti trying to do comedy now, he's bringing the streets to comedy, and the comedians saying, "Hey, yo, man, we don't do that out here. If you dish it out,
Yeah.
you got to be able to take it at the same time." And I like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
liken that. When I saw that, I liken that to the debate sector of the conscious community. You got a bunch of
Mm.
people who trying to bring the streets to the debate shit,
It's
and
true.
when they're looking silly in the debates, they tend to lash out at the person who's out skilling them in the debate. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen the footage of Ti. He wasn't happy, and I mean, he has his security, so he's there, stopping the girl from continuing. And I mean, that's not the way to go. And indeed, in the so-called conscious community, you have many people at one point they be like, "Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm from this hood, I was part of this gang." I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? The conscious community is
right,
not, how much work you don't put in the street. That's not what it is. And in France, you have
right,
people who are like that as well. They were part of gangs, and actually, some of them rape women. You know what I'm saying? Some of them got sentence, for that. Got some jail, not necessarily jail actually, but a little bit of time. But there was the legal condemnation, on their criminal record for that. But some of them act like, oh, we were in the street, we did this, we had fights, we blah blah blah. I'm like, what does it have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's not the struggle of liberation. It's not gangsterism. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
no,
trying to diss gangsters. I know a lot of them didn't really have much choice in the first place, but I'm sorry. This is not gangsterism. You know what I'm saying? We have to,
right.
but hey,
Keep
what
that
can we
gangster
say?
shit to yourself. We here having a
Yeah.
debate, nothing more. It don't go no further than this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
People trying to like these guys want to dox you and do all this other silly shit because they got embarrassed in the debate. You need to learn how to cite your citations better.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, indeed. Sharpen your skill. You know what I'm saying? And like Aliyah said, dust yourself up and try again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And if you step in front of me with that weak scholarship without giving proper citations or citing your citations or
Mm.
following up the citations that you're citing and researching
Mm.
those citations, guess what? I'm gonna embarrass you again. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? I am black intelligentsia. I am the Asar nigga. I am the Haru. You see what I'm saying? I'm all those things. I am what my ancestors wanted. I'm an educated
Mm.
black man, whether you like it or not. I don't get into
Mm.
all to that mythical, magical shit that they teaching about some god in the sky named Yahweh. I don't do that. Leave your belief at home when you're having a scholastic conversation. It's not about your
Mm.
belief. We're not dealing with that. I stay away from that now.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, brother Shaka, I'm about to sit up here and eat with my wife, and I'll continue to listen in.
All right.
Just want to
Thanks
talk
for
about.
calling in, brother. Thank you for calling in.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, Hotep. Yeah. Um. So for our brothers and sisters, we don't have any record for Jesus during his lifetime, Moses during his lifetime, um, Joseph during his lifetime, Abraham. So many people say that's too long ago. It's about 2000 BC if he existed. Now for David, apparently there is this. Can't remember if it's a piece of rock where he says Bait Dawood, which means house of David. Bait is the same word in Arabic and Hebrew. It might slightly be pronounced. It might be pronounced slightly differently, but it's even closer than Shalom Aleichem and Salam Aleikum, which really are the same thing, just pronounced differently. But maybe in Hebrew it sounds more like Beit or Bet, Bethlehem, Bet-El, house of God. And in Arabic it sounds more like Bait, see. Actually, the word for day, Yom Kippur, it's like some sort of day of remembrance or some sort of celebration. In Arabic, the word for day is Yam as well. I forgot if it sounds like Yam or Yum, but it's like the same word. Those are two sister languages, not even cousin languages, but sister languages. So Bait Dawood is David, what we call David. So there is some artifact that mentions house of David, and people presume. Oh, actually, I think it says Melech as well, and Melech is the word for king. So Melech in Arabic and in Hebrew is like the same word as well. Let me go through the comments because we have a few. Now, Claudia, are you of Haitian descent? Because I forgot. I know you've been there a while. We talked, but I forgot because you've put the flag and you've put some more French. Well, Creole. We use those words in French like in Creole as well. But for those who don't know, it means without worry here, sans souci. Mrs. C wrote that CMOS is good. Maybe it's good, but it's probably not a miracle product. We have to remember that some people claim that they can cure diabetes, cancer, AIDS, and many people just have been rolling with it. And lately we've seen a medical doctor from the Nation of Islam that says that we can cure AIDS with raw milk. Some people might think, the video is a bit long. It's 4 minutes long. But just for the record.
What is in milk that is so good? It's not just calories, but there's antibodies, there are cytokines, there are all kinds of molecules that are in the milk that have healing properties. And now clinical trials have been done that has shown that you can actually cure AIDS with raw milk. When I read that, it blew my mind, and then I looked further. Why would milk be able to cure AIDS? Well, we came back from Kenya in 1991 with something called alpha interferon that cures AIDS. So when you look in the milk, guess what's in the milk? Alpha interferon. Not only alpha interferon, but beta interferon and gamma interferon. All the interferons are in there. Now they said that if you really want to increase the potency of the milk, to increase its healing power, you let it sit at room temperature for 4 days after it's taken from the cow. You say, oh, that's spoiled. No, it's not spoiled. It's soured. Real milk, raw milk cannot spoil. It becomes fermented. They call it buttermilk. They call it yogurt. It's not spoiled. You're confusing it with pasteurized milk. You let pasteurized milk sit for 4 days. Yeah, it's spoiled, and if you drink it, it'll make you sick. But you drink that fermented milk, that soured milk, and the level of interferon and other health-promoting properties goes way up. I'm just trying to tell you something. Let me show you something where that is the latest development. Now this is, I'm in an experimental stage now, but this is a product that is made from milk. You said, there you go, you promoting yourself, brother, on the rostrum. Call it what you want. This has in it what are called infopeptides, which is just a component of the milk, especially the milk from a cow that is just giving birth and is producing what is called colostrum. That early milk is called colostrum, and it is very, very potent in its medicinal properties. So now what has been isolated from the colostrum are what are called infopeptides. These are small little proteins. Some are 2 amino acids, 3 amino acids, 4 amino acids, or 5 amino acids, and they are not biological in their properties. They are full of information. Information. Not chemistry, not biology. Let's say it another way. Full of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so that these infopeptides will lock on to the receptors in each cell in your body and turn that cell on. And say to that cell, you are off your post. Get back on. You are unbalanced. You are cancerous. You are functioning at a low level or too high a level. You're out of balance.
That's just as I'm about to drink. Now, of course, I don't approve what you've heard. It was just to show and prove that this guy, I forgot his full name. I think he has Abdullah in his name. I might even have the name. Did I put his name? Well, I've mentioned his name before. He's a Nation of Islam member. He's apparently a medical doctor. And he said clearly that we can cure AIDS with milk, with raw milk. It's one of the craziest claims I've heard in the last few years. Now, let me go through the comments. Mrs. C wrote that CMOS is not expensive, and she doesn't know since when people overrate CMOS. A lot of time you have trends. And when there's a trend, something's in fashion, then, many people talk about it. For example, there's a new trend now on social media. What is it called again? Clubhouse. It's new. It's hip. Everybody's going on Clubhouse, just like everybody switched from MySpace to Facebook. Then from Facebook to Instagram. Then from Instagram to TikTok. So CMOS at one point, it was the hip thing. Okay. Sorry. We have Piccolo-san, who is in Bermuda. I'm sorry, in the Bahamas. Now, Mrs. C wrote, but I really find it strange the biblical men have to prove existence. I believe they are not real. I didn't really understand the beginning of the sentence, but I believe they are not real either. Let's say it this way. Historically, when it comes to the academic field of history, the historicity of those patriarchs and prophets is not attested. And once again, for Jesus, many people will tell you, oh, we have countless of testimonies for Jesus. Testimony, that's during the lifetime of the person. It's not 100 years later. When I say later, I mean after the death. Not like 50 years after the death of someone. During the lifetime of Jesus, we don't have a single writing that mentions his name. And once again, brothers and sisters, you will come across videos or statements, debates. People will say, "Well, we have so many testimonies for Jesus. We have Tacitus, we have Flavius Joseph, blah, 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 Flavius Josephus, blah, blah, blah." They'll tell you so many names. All those people wrote after the death of Jesus Christ. There's not a single piece of writing mentioning Jesus Christ, Yeshua Christos, whatever his name was, during his lifetime. And that's weird, because I've been showing you the artifacts from Kemet, 1200 BC, 1500 BC, 2000 BC, 2200 BC, 2400 BC. But the Son of God / God himself, no artifacts survived. Seems like nobody was interested. Then you will hear some funny claims like, "Oh, back in the days, people didn't really write. Most people were illiterate. No point writing." All sorts of excuses, just excuses, left and right. So, of course, the fashion thing, the trend thing is to say, "Well, okay, we didn't have any Jesus like he's described in the Bible, but it was a historical Jesus, a normal Jesus, a commoner." Piccolo's son wrote, "I am a human that lived the life of Heru Battle Set and awoken to become thought on the center path of Asar. The one who understands all perspective to manifest truth." Oh, Claudia Barton is from Jamaica. Wagwan, Wapen, everything Chris. Inadi Plies, Inadi Yard. I might have said that before, but no disrespect to my lady, the mother of my daughter. She knows, I told her that I dated a Jamaican woman for several years when I was living in England. I met many people from different Caribbean islands and different African countries that used to be colonized by Britain. And in England, amongst all those people, you will tend to meet more Jamaicans. And, they show me love for real, so kind of have some affinity with Jamaica, Mrs. C wrote, "That's not true. CMOS is just a drink. We drink here in the Caribbean. Those people are frauds." And Chloe Barton is raised in the US. Piccolo Song wrote that CMOS is alg. Oh, alg. We use the same word in French. We would just add the U between the G and the E. If I presume that's what the English word means. So if I put, no, I didn't write correctly here. So alg. That's the same thing. Well, actually, it's meant to be written algae, Algae. Mr. C wrote, "Listen, I don't bother with the NOI. I believe they are created to confuse Black America to give them a false sense of comfort." Piccolo Son appears to agree with what we've heard from the doctor that's claimed can cure AIDS with raw milk. Piccolo Son wrote, "That is correct. In the milk, there are such things. It's for immune development. They did try this to infect," I guess he meant to write pregnant, "female with AIDS to see if the antibodies will be produced in the milk." Okay, my bad. He's not in Bahamas, he's in Bermuda, just like our brother Hailey. All right. Did you get to meet the brother Hailey, actually? Because I remember you exchanged numbers. No, Mrs. C wrote, "They have no proof. I mean, I don't believe Jesus is real either. In the Gita, Lord Krishna's story is similar." Piccolo wrote, "That's why I can tell they are real, because the same things that happened to them has happened to me. Jesus is a human that awoken as thought, just as I have. Many were before, many came after. Claudia wrote Big Up. That was after my very, very, very short patois vocabulary. Mrs. C wrote, then if you are taught, I am Durga. Who is Durga? Durga is a major deity in Hinduism. It's a deity with several hands. Uh, Piccolo also wrote that he can show with actions and not just word. Okay, Piccolo son did meet our brother Hailey, and they talked on WhatsApp. It's a good thing two brothers in Bermuda happen to connect thanks to this platform. That's beautiful. Brothers and sisters, could we have one of you being brave and just hop in there and say, what's up? 21st century. Let's use us. Let's use this technology. You know, I don't mind reading the comments, but you know, people could talk directly. Claudia Barton wrote, then Mandela would have cured it long ago. I believe that spoiled milk was his favorite drink. My people. Earlier, when I was talking to Tahaka Bey, I asked him about Ali Muhammad. Ali Muhammad is very famous for having shown an alleged doctorate degree. And the internet doesn't sleep. People have pointed out that there is a spelling error, which means that it's a fake degree. When a university issues a degree, there's no spelling mistake. That's what people do. There's so many things that happen. Actually, people missed it. People did not see it. I mentioned the debate between Sarasut and Seti and Alim Bey. That was years ago. And it was indeed a slaughter. Before that debate, you know, the Moors, just like you hear about Hebrew Israelites today all the time on Napah's channel, well, back then it was the Moors that you used to hear about. They would say, we're not black. We're not Africans. Black means squashed. And all sorts of the stuff, you know. Many claims, and then the debate happened, and the rest is history. Okay, well, so I presume nobody wants to hit that link that says invite link so that you can get on the panel directly. Of course, you know, you need to show your face. Anthony Harris had his face on. He didn't use a webcam, but he did before. We've seen him. We know who he is. And for those who don't know him, you can type in on YouTube Brother Chris or Anthony Harris versus Zion Lex. You will see him. You know, they debated, and he had Zion Lex shook. You know, I'm trying to be diplomatic with my wording, but you know, it was a bit embarrassing for Zion Lex, you know. So he's doing his thing, he's putting in work, you know. And now I'm hearing he's getting, you know, attacked and slandered. He gave the name of the group that's doing that. But this group, I heard them a long time ago. You know, I mean, I heard about them, you know, dissing many people. But it's just gonna get worse. You know, the more you do your thing, and the more opposition you will get. But you will still get some love. You will still get some people that will support you. But fortunately, you have some people who will slander you and just attack you personally. Is there anybody that wants to learn the Medu Nature, brothers and sisters? Because actually, yes, earlier I told you that I forgot one thing that I wanted to address. Then later on, I said that I remember. And what I remember is, how do you feel, brothers and sisters, knowing that the hieroglyphic is the origin of our alphabet? How do you feel about that? I wonder what the anti-Kemetic people, the anti-Kemet people, have to say about that. You know, those who say, "Oh, you guys are Egyptomaniacs," you know. Remember that people say history starts with writing. Before history or before writing is prehistory. I mean, writing, it's not just, at least small stuff. Literacy, literature, writing. And that's something. Who would have thought, no pun intended, who would have thought that the hieroglyphic coming from the ancient Egyptian, those alleged evil people that enslaved the Hebrews, that enslaved Moses and his family, Moses and them, a Pharaoh that didn't know Joseph. They brought forth the Medu Neter, and from the Medu Neter, we ultimately have our Latin alphabet. Others might say Roman script or Latin script. Can you believe it? They love to say alphabet derives from Aleph Bet, and Aleph Bet, that's the Hebrew through the Phoenician. When we say Hebrew, it's really Sinaitic dialect, but for the sake of simplicity, we will say Hebrew. So they take pride in that. Alphabet derives from Aleph Bet, Aleph being the first letter, the ox's head, the sound A, and Bet being the sound B or B. They have to take pride in that. But there's a father to that, or a mother to that, or parents to that. And the parents of the Aleph Bet is the Medu Neter. How do you feel about that, brothers and sisters? I will repeat that. People need to know. It's very important. Now, the video I'm referring to doesn't have many views because it looks like YouTube is a bit strange with the notification. But the video says, "Thank Africans for the alphabet." Here. Whoa. It's just the advert. But yeah, that's the video here. That was only 50 views and 8 likes. You can share it. You can watch it. I uploaded it yesterday. And I've quoted a scholar. Well, I've missed some new comments. I kind of skipped Piccolo's comments because Piccolo seems to be into metaphysics, and that's not really my thing. Mrs. C wrote, "I would love to learn. I can't attend live classes. I work shifts, as I said before. If they were pre-recorded and I purchase those, it's better for me." Well, sister, I understand you work shift, but you don't work Monday to Sunday, do you? You have to have some time off. The classes are really an hour. But since I'm looking for groups, it might be like maybe an hour and a half, who knows, maybe 2 hours, but it depends on the time slot that we agree on. So there's probably some time slot one day of the week where you will have 1 hour to spare. And I'm not trying to be pushy about it, you know. I did not even recognize it was you. Changed your username. Hold on, let me see. Or is this just a lookalike? Well, it looks like a secondary account. You just look like Alex Little, so okay. Oh, said removed by the uploader. Oh, yeah, seen it. I remember what happened. Mrs. C wrote, listen, when I read about Egypt, it makes me feel really good. And then she wrote, but I clicked on the video yesterday and it said removed by the uploader. Yeah, what happens at first I started recording the video and I don't know if I didn't share the right screen first, or I just decided to stop the recording and then I re-uploaded it. So it is there. It is there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share the link. So the title is Thank Africans for the Alphabet. This is the link. Oh, this is in the chat. Exhilarating. So, yeah, maybe Mrs. C, there might be a day where you will be available. Feel free, brothers and sisters, to tell your relatives, your friends, people you might be in contact with that I'm giving middle nurture classes. I'm really looking forward to have another group. And once again, for those who don't know, I'm proposing a Saturday at 11 p.m. EST, New York time. It will be good, you know. No, you're welcome, Mrs. C. You're welcome. I want to put an end to the live stream, but I feel like, you know, having someone calling in, even if it's not long, I have that feeling. But if nobody does, after a while, then I put an end to it. But I'll wait a little bit, you know. I'm in that good mood, that good vibe. And it's been 2 hours and 44 minutes, actually. Usually I don't have much time for live streams, and this time I do have time. So, you know, I'm taking advantage, you know. That's the sign. That's the sign. So, okay, it's all good. I had 2 people calling in, and thank you for the support. Thank you for being here, brothers and sisters. Been doing this for a little while, you know, for a minute. I faced a lot of opposition. I also faced a lot of love, and I'm very well aware that being Kemetic is not the most popular thing, because most of our people, particularly in the West, we are into the Abrahamic belief system. But things can change. We can grow as some people, and as a group of people, we can grow. We can have many options. But in order to progress, we need to have enough people. And when I say enough, is significant amount of people. You can see that there's not many people when I'm live streaming. There's not many views on the videos, even though it seems like the notification system doesn't really work for my account. If there was more people that subscribe, then people would just check the account and just type in Mad Forever, and or click on the favorite tab if they saved it as a favorite, and then they will be able to see that there are some new videos. But that's the way it is. Some people are part of some Kemetic groups, but they don't necessarily know the Medu nature. It is important really to learn the Medu nature, to get to know the culture deeper, because many people claim to be Kemetic, but they don't really know much about Kemet, So the good thing is I'm giving classes to quite a fair bit of people. But I'm really looking for new learners, so that Medu nature, Au revoir, Claudia. Medu nature is my thing, really. Not only I'm giving the classes several times a week, but I'm preparing the classes, so I do a lot of studying, a lot of reading. I'm preparing the slides. It takes quite some time. For those who haven't seen the video called Kemet and Ma'ad, then by all means, do so. It's a very good video. I'm sure you will. Actually, I'm going to share the link. I don't like when it does that. Okay. This is Kemet and Ma'ad. Piccolo Song wrote, "You already entered on the path of the warrior from when you used to fight." Yeah, for those who don't know, I had a few Muay Thai fights, about 10 or something. Now, I've shared the link for Kemet and Ma'ad, which really is called Introduction to Kemet. When they snatched my account, 2016, with 9,000 subscribers and 400, well, I think it was 300,000 views for the video Introduction to Kemet, I created a new account. That's why the date for this account is 2016. But I've had accounts back in 2004/2005 on YouTube, and many were snatched. And I decided to rename it Kemet and Ma'ad because it's shorter. Now, for the people who still believe that Prophet Muhammad was black, then there was this article that says Prophet Muhammad's color, according to Islamic sources. I will break down why it's wrong. Piccolo Son wrote, "My brother, try to run barefoot. You may be shocked what happens to you." You know what's funny, brother? I have a goal ultimately to feel at home, to be at home. I kind of alluded to that during one live stream, but I don't want to talk about it too much because, I'd rather do and then talk about it. And today I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, I'd be barefoot and, be so close to the ground, not have to worry about, racism anymore. Now, which other video can I share? Deception of Asiatic black men. You will see that your Islamic or Asiatic black men movements derive from Freemasonry. And then this one is actually probably one of the most important video in ancient people's ethnicity. And when I say one of the most important video, I mean particularly for black people, because scholars from around the world, they don't talk about, black Hebrews, black Jews. It's just black people who talk about that. We have the phenotypes, we have the depictions, we have the statues, we have the paintings of the Canaanites and people living in that region, that area. And they are clearly white skin. Mrs. C is asking if I ever heard of Ashok. Yeah, I've heard about him. Back when I was living in England, I bought a few of his DVDs. And he's been going to Kemet for like maybe 40 years now, but more than 30 years, maybe 35 years. He was taught by Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, and he used to be a Muslim before that. Then he went on a trip to Kemet and he left Islam alone. My only issue with Ashra Kwesi is some of the claims that were made, and there was no amendments for that. And some shortcuts, some interpretation, like showing that Medu Neter glyph that kind of has the shape of a cross and putting a cross next to it, as if people saw that glyph and it's like, okay, we're going to use the cross as a symbol. The cross is used as a symbol because that was the way they used to execute people, and according to the biblical narrative, Jesus died on the cross. And showing some statue of a person who will allegedly be a depiction of Jesus, and the statue happens to show someone that appears to have black phenotype. So here goes your black Jesus. Same thing with the statue of Moses from a museum or someplace in Israel. Picture taken by Khalid Abdul Muhammad, so people feel like, oh well, apparently Moses was black. They depict him as black, but the only thing that's black is just the material. As a matter of fact, look closely at the phenotype in the nose. Now I know some people say, yeah, we call nose shapes in color. Yeah, some black people have a nose like that. They'd be crooked, yes, but predominantly we have a predominant phenotype. But during the debate with the pastor, he said Jesus never existed. He was a spirit in creation. But on some other of his DVDs, he said that Jesus was a political offender. He was a revolutionary. He was part of the Essene. So at one point you say Jesus never existed, and another point you say, and even when he talks about, Jesus, the warrior or revolutionary, the political offender, who was crucified, and maybe not crucified, but hanged on a cross, because apparently somewhere in the Bible it says that he was hanged on a cross, but he was executed. He died ultimately. There's a depiction, a painting. Now, if you look at the painting, the skin is a bit, dark, but look at the hair. You're going to tell me that they had a way to have perm back then, to relax their hair back then, So showing this is like, well, Jesus existed and he was black. And that's my issue with it, New Ankh, Noah's Ark coming from New Ankh. Where does that come from? Kemet Nu, meaning black people. Where does that come from? Mother Nature coming from, forgot the Medu Neter construction. Where does that come from? Some people say that Mother Nature comes from Medu Neter. I would like to see the linguistic breakdown. So there's a fair bit of stuff like that, of shortcuts like that. One DVD is called Christianity, Stolen Religion from Africa. So what are we going to do? We're going to be Christian the original way, not the stolen version from Africa. See, it's also all this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's my take, I think I was political, diplomatic. I don't think I did any attack, but he's not the only one at the end of the day, Other people do it, but he probably does it more than others. And those are just some of the things I remember, because I watched his DVDs like more than a decade ago, So either Jesus existed, whether he was black or white, or he never existed. But if he didn't exist, there's no point of showing depictions of Jesus, whether it's a painting showing Jesus as a scene or a statue showing Jesus, carrying the lamb or whatever animal that is on his shoulders. Now, Mrs. C wrote, no, Christianity don't come from Africa. Constantine is father of Christianity. Oh, those belief systems, they really have us trapped into a spell. Our people love these Abrahamic stories so much that they're trying to fit us into those stories. All right, it's been 2 hours and 56 minutes. I guess I will put an end to it before it's 3 hours. Once again, thank you for being there, brothers and sisters. For those who don't know, did I finish sharing the videos? Well, for the record, for those who don't know, this is Farrakhan explaining the theology of the Nation of Islam as taught by Elijah Muhammad, as taught by Fahd Muhammad, explaining that Africa is the jungles of East Asia and we rebelled against God, so we were mocked, we were disfigured. We didn't have kinky hair, but our phenotype changed. And he talks about the essence of ugliness, because the essence of beauty is in obedience and the essence of ugliness is in disobedience. So in a way, it's kind of saying that our phenotype, our physical appearance, is the essence of ugliness. And you can see it from the horse's mouth. That's 3 minutes. So for those who wonder, why am I saying Africans are living the jungle life according to the Nation of Islam and the 5%ers, the NGE, that comes for the 120 or Muslim student enrollment, basically what they call the supreme wisdom. And you have the links. You have the links at the bottom of my website, you see. So I think that's about it. There's another thing I wanted to say, but I forgot. Oh, yes. For those who feel generous, you see, that's my PayPal, paypal.me/maaforever. There's also the Cash App. It is Cash App maaforever, just like it's written here. That's the name of the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, then make sure you subscribe, and maybe you need to make sure you hit that notification bell in order to receive the notifications. But I'm really looking for Medu Nature learners. I'm really looking for people who want to learn the hieroglyphic. So spread the word if you don't mind. Let them know. Hey, are you ready for Saturday, 11 p.m. EST? If you are, then contact the brother. Here's the email address. All right. BOSSSTYLYX@msn.com. But make sure you copy and paste it. In the description of the videos, you have the email address. So if you're interested in learning the Medu Nature, feel free to shoot an email and tell me if Saturday 11 p.m. EST suits you. And if not, then tell me which day and which time will be suitable to you. And if there's enough people available on the same time slot, then we might, get this thing going. So it's been 3 hours now. I'm going to put the outro. Thank you for being there. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you, Hotep. Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Nature class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.